Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside Labatt Memorial Park here. It's Intercounty Baseball League action from London. The Kitchener Panthers are in town to take on the London Majors, and we welcome you up here to the Game Day London broadcast booth. I'm Noah Smith, Dylan Baker off to my right here to kick off the weekend, Dylan, and the Kitchener Panthers visiting London for the final time this regular season.
Yeah, the Kitchener Panthers were here on June 10th for a doubleheader, and that was a long night. Noah, I wasn't here for that matchup, but you were, and you got out of here pretty late, so we're hoping for a bit of a quicker night here tonight between the Panthers and the Majors. The Majors, of course, coming off an 0-3 weekend last weekend, so they'll be looking to bounce back in this one.
Dylan, you have to go back to the pre-pandemic days before the London Majors lost 3 straight games the last time. Of course, we're a little bit spoiled with the 2021 championship season and, of course, the good start that they've been off to this year. But the Majors facing a little bit of adversity here for what seems like the first time in a little while with 3 straight losses, trying to get out of that here against the Kitchener Panthers team that they know they can hopefully put up some good offense against.
Absolutely, Noah, and you mentioned it hasn't been since 2019 that the Majors have lost 3 games in a row, so they're going to be looking to get back in the win column here today. Last year, obviously a shortened season, the Majors fared so well. They did not lose 3 games in a row, and they hardly lost back-to-back games as well. That's going to happen. That has happened since, but 3 losses consecutively, it's been a while since the Majors have had that, and you touched on how they're hoping that they can score some runs against the Kitchener Panthers here today. The Majors have one of the best offenses in the Intercounty Baseball League, and the Kitchener Panthers have allowed the most runs of any team in the IBL, so the Majors are going to be hoping that leads to some success here today.
Panthers going to be looking to spoil the Majors party, get themselves a win here on the road, Dylan. Let's check out the starting lineups for the visiting Kitchener Panthers here as they get set to face off against Owen Boone. Jet Jarvis will lead things off, and despite the Panthers' struggles so far this season, the Kitchener Panthers offense, some really good bats here on the order.
Yeah, you get a look at the lineup there, brought to you by EatHealthyEats.ca. Jet Jarvis, Blake Jacklin, Liam Wilson, Andy Leader. 4 guys who have done it for at least a couple of years in the Intercounty Baseball League. Liam Wilson, Andy Leader have done it a little bit longer than that. They've been studs in this league for Kitchener for quite a while. There are some very talented hitters. Keegan Marsden batting 6th in this Kitchener Panthers lineup. He's a great bat as well, so they've got a lot of talented hitters. It's just a matter of getting the pitching and the hitting on the same page, getting them going at the same time, and that'll lead to success for the Panthers down the line.
And the Panthers did put up a win against London when they played that doubleheader here. Of course, the continuation of the home opener and then the second game played after that, which the Majors won. They split the doubleheader here the first time around, so the Majors know that they're going to be coming out here trying to win this ball game as they finish up announcing the lineups on field. Majors kind of going back to a similar lineup that they had before last weekend where they did a few changes, Dylan.
Yeah, last weekend we saw Robert Mullen and Cleveland Brownlee flipped. Mullen batted 3rd, Cleveland Brownlee batted 4th. It's because Cleveland was going through a bit of a slump and they were trying to kickstart him a little bit. It didn't really work for the Majors. Mullen still stayed hot. Cleveland was still mired in that slump, so they flipped him back. They put Cleveland back in the 3 spot. They put Mullen back into the 4 spot, trying to rekindle some of the magic that they had earlier in the year.
The London Majors starter Owen Boone gets out to the mound there. We'll go through the starters after the break. Dylan, Rock the Park going on across the river here in London, but the Majors hoping to rock Labatt Park tonight. We're going to go to break. MajorsTV comes back after this.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah, I have to say, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo, for any artwork that you need done, for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house, from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me.
London Majors Baseball and Majors TV back here from the Forks of the Thames in London, Ontario. Owen Boone onto the mound here for the London Majors to start the ball game, Dylan. And with that, we'll take a look at the starting pitchers in the contest tonight.
Yeah, starting pitchers in this contest, you've got Brett Reed for the Kitchener Panthers this season. He struggled a little bit, 0-3 and 11-11 earned run average, a 3.7 strikeout per 9 ratio, and a 7.94 walks per 9 ratio. So you see that the command can at times become an issue for Reed this season. On the other side, you've got Owen Boone, who's got a perfect 6-0 record this season, a couple of no decisions mixed in there as well. A 3.12 earned run average, 12.1 strikeouts per 9, 2.57 walks per 9. Owen Boone has been one of the big guys for the London Majors this season, as he was expected to be. He's come as advertised, and he's been fantastic for the Majors.
And with the longest losing streak in a couple of years here for the Majors, they'll go to the trusty ace in Owen Boone here to kickstart the weekend on this Friday night to face off against the Kitchener Panthers lineup here in London. Fairly good night for baseball here. The clouds have covered the sky, but the temperature staying up there. Home plate umpire in the contest today, Bob Blake, will call the balls and strikes. Steve Cochran's over at third base, and Justin Van Hoort is at first base.
Similar umpires, the guys we've seen all year long, familiar faces from the Intercounty Baseball League umpiring crews tonight.
So with that, Owen Boone will get ready to deliver the first pitch of the ball game. He's going to come right with a fastball to start things off, and the count moves to 0-1.
When Boone's on, he's commanding that fastball very well. If he can find the inside corner, he's going to have a successful night.
Boone ready to deliver, and a big swing and a miss. And quickly, Owen Boone is ahead of the leadoff man, Jet Jarvis. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Boone likes to get ahead with that fastball, and it's one of the better fastballs in the Intercounty Baseball League. So if he's got that rolling, he's going to use it quite often.
Grabs his sign from Mullen, delivered to the plate. They go upstairs with it. That one's going to miss.
Not a bad idea right there after you got the swing and miss from Jet Jarvis to go right back upstairs, see if you can get the chase from the Panthers leadoff man. And Jarvis, a guy the Panthers love having at the top of their order. He gets on base. He's got great speed. He's been great for them up there.
1-2 delivery, bottom of the zone and just missing low. And from 0-2, the count goes to 2-2 here for Owen Boone against the leadoff man, Jet Jarvis. It's Jarvis, Jacklin, and Wilson, the first 3 to greet him here on the top of the first inning. From that windup on the mound, here's the leg kick from the right. He deals, and it's fouled off and out of play by Jarvis. Still 2-2.
One of the things Jet Jarvis also does when he's at the plate is he battles up there. He sees a lot of pitches, and he allows the guys coming up after him to see a lot of pitches. You got Blake Jacklin standing on deck, as you mentioned, Liam Wilson after that. Obviously, these are guys who are familiar with Owen Boone because Boone's been around the league for a while, so have they. But you still want to see what a guy's got working on a given night, and if your leadoff man can see a lot of pitches like Jarvis is doing, that'll lead to success.
Pitch swung on and missed. Strikeout begins the ball game for Owen Boone. He has to work a little bit against the leadoff man Jarvis, but he sets him down on strikes for a big out number 1.
Yeah, big strikeout there for Owen Boone to get things rolling, keeping Jarvis off the base paths. He didn't even let him put a ball in play. It took a It took a changeup, it looked like, to get Jarvis there. Threw him quite a few fastballs. Jarvis was spoiling them. He was missing a little bit once he got to a 2-strike count, but dropped in a very good changeup and was able to get a swinging strike 3.
So Blake Jacklin, another lefty here for the Panthers to start the ball game. That one's on the outside edge and called a strike, and Owen Boone gets ahead 0-1. Boone, when he's having a good night, will throw a lot of strikes. Likes to get ahead of hitters, and he does here 0-2 now. The second straight batter as that one swung on and missed.
Yeah, Boone's gotten ahead of the first 2 batters 0-2. It looks like he's locked in, at least so far.
Boone will look for a quick put-away pitch here on 0-2. The sign from Mullen. Fastball climbs the ladder. It's fouled back into the screen by Jacklin, and the count stays in the favor of Owen Boone.
Good 2-strike pitch there from Owen Boone, going with the high fastball. And a great job by Blake Jacklin at the plate, spoiling a tough pitch.
Good crowd still filling in here at Labatt Park on this Friday night. Cheering on Owen Boone. Here is the 0-2 delivery. Just missing the outside corner. Good frame there by Mullen, but he knows that one just missed off the plate.
Yeah, Boone came close with that offering, but Bob Blake right on top of it. Saw it was a little bit off and didn't give him the call.
1-2 now. Delivery swung on and missed. Another strikeout for Owen Boone. He has set down the first 2 in order here on strikeouts.
That's 2 straight guys where he's gone with the off-speed pitch to get the swinging strikeout. It's fastball, fastball, fastball. He attacks you early with the heat, and that's what leads to success for Owen Boone, the change of speeds that he's able to accomplish there because he's got such a good fastball. When he takes something off of it, it's a real adjustment for hitters, and that's what we've seen so far in the first 2 batters. Jarvis and Jacklin both spoiled some good fastballs. They laid off some good fastballs, and then once he got to the changeup, they were way ahead of it.
So Liam Wilson steps to the plate with 2 gone, and the first pitch he sees is once again another fastball called a strike from Owen Boone.
Owen Boone has started the first 3 batters of this ball game with called strikes. If he can keep doing that, I mean, that's a pretty good recipe for a good outing.
Now attacks the plate, just misses inside as he switched things up there on Wilson, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, came with a breaking ball there on Liam Wilson and just did miss the inside corner of the plate. Great take there by a very patient and talented hitter in Liam Wilson.
The 1-1 delivery off the plate, swung on and missed, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes here on Wilson.
Wilson is having a great year once again for the Kitchener Panthers, batting .362, 4 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Last year he put up otherworldly numbers, batting over .400 in the shortened 2021 season. Had 7 home runs, 33 runs batted in.
Hit on the ground, and that one is fair down the first baseline. It's going to roll into the grass. Picked up by Joseph, and they're going to throw to 2, but it won't be in time to get Wilson, who's in there with a 2-out double in the top of the first.
Great job by Liam Wilson on that swing, going with the pitch on the outside corner and slapping it down the first baseline. It was too far to be snagged by Dan Perrier. Goes into right field. Starling Joseph did a good job getting on that ball quickly. But you might have seen it on your screen there. Once it got onto the outfield grass, it kind of just died a little bit. It didn't continue to roll, so Joseph had to run a longer way. Couldn't get as much behind the throw because he had to completely turn his body. And the throw was a little bit off the money to second base, which allowed Wilson to get in standing up.
Wilson in 23 games last year, Dylan, struck out just 5 times. In 15 games this year, he's only struck out 3 times, and that 2-strike approach right there shows you why. First pitch curveball here will start the at-bat to yet another good bat in the Panthers order. Andy Leader here as he steps up with a runner in scoring position. 2 gone here in the inning.
Andy Leader, a former Inter-County Baseball League All-Star. He's always going to put up good numbers, playing center field, plays a great center field as well for the Kitchener Panthers.
Here's a look to the plate, and he's just behind that fastball from Owen Boone. 0-2 now. Leader right now, 3rd in the IBL in average coming into this ball game, behind 2 London Majors. Here's the pitch outside. Good block by Robert Mullen to get over there and block that breaking ball. It's 1-2.
It's part of what makes Robert Mullen so good behind the plate. He gets across and is able to block that pitch that was well off the plate into the other batter's box. Not really a temptation for Leader on that one, but with the runner at second base, Mullen can't just stab at it. He's got to get in front of that baseball. Did a great job right there of blocking that one and keeping it close.
Boone still ahead in the count here at 1-2. Checks back at the runner. Now comes to the plate. Fastball off the plate. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes now here on Leader.
That's a really good spot for the fastball from Owen Boone. It's far enough that Leader's not going to be able to make solid contact. It's just off the plate and didn't get the call from the home plate umpire.
So Boone sets himself and gets ready to go on 2-2. Pitch to the plate. Hit over to third base on a hop. The throw across the diamond, not in time, and it's going to be wide and into the Kitchener dugout. And a run will come in to score for the Panthers, and they'll take a 1-0 lead.
That was a tough play for Gibson Kraminski over at third base for the London Majors, just because of the hop that he got on that ground ball from Andy Leader. He had to wait back a little bit. With the speed that Andy Leader's got, it was going to be a tough play to make for Kraminski. He had to execute a very strong throw. He had to rush himself a little bit, and the throw was offline. Dan Perrier could not get across even with that long reach to make that play, and that allows a run to come in to score and a runner to get to second base.
So 2 gone. They'll swap spots. And the Panthers out in front to an early 1-0 lead. Scored to right now, Dylan, a hit and then a throwing error, allowing the runners both to move up.
Yeah, it was going to be pretty likely that Andy Leader got to first base on that ground ball. Looked like he was going to beat it out with the good speed that he's got, but that throw that was put into the Kitchener Panthers dugout allows him to move up and allows Wilson to score.
Pitch from Boone. Fastball missing upstairs. Count moves to 1-1 here. Kenny DiClemente at the dish, looking to try and keep a good first inning going for the Panthers. 2 strikeouts to start the frame, and then back-to-back hits as this one is fouled off third base side. Kraminski will give it a look, but that one is about 7 rows deep into the seats.
And it sounds like somebody made a great play down the third base line there here at Labatt Park. Good job by that fan.
Good job by Owen Boone to work himself up in the count 1-2. Seems like every batter to come to the plate so far has found themselves in a tough 2-strike count against Boone. No different here for DiClemente. It's 1-2. Boone checks back. Now comes to the plate, and that one is fouled off. DiClemente got a piece of it.
Just go back to what you were saying there, Noah. Every single hitter has found themselves behind in the count to start. Jet Jarvis had a called strike. Blake Jacklin, same deal. Liam Wilson swung through the first pitch he saw. Andy Leader saw a called strike. DiClemente fouled it off. Boone is getting ahead of these hitters, and he's able to work from in front in the count, which makes it so much easier for you out there on the mound.
Check back at 2 again. Comes to the plate. Called strike 3. Bottom of the zone. Boone gets the call to get the Majors out of the top of the first inning, but not before the Panthers can put a run across on 2 hits and an error to lead 1-0.
Great job there by Owen Boone, able to find the bottom of the strike zone there with a called strike 3. That run that came across to score, no fault of Owen Boone. Ground ball, Gibson Kraminski just threw the ball away into the Kitchener Panthers dugout. Overall, a pretty successful inning, I think, for Owen Boone. Noah, he got ahead early to every single batter. He's throwing a lot of strikes right now and just happens to be behind on the scoreboard.
With the Majors offense, he'll hope they can get him back into this game and hopefully take a lead by the time he goes back out for the top of the second inning. Dylan, and we get a short look there on the mound at Brett Reed, the starter for the Panthers in this ball game. The Exeter, Ontario native.
Former Great Lake Canadian as well, Noah. He'll be looking to change his fortunes a little bit here in this outing. He struggled quite a bit this season, as we touched on before the game began, we gave you a preview of the pitching matchup, and Reed going to look to have a pretty good outing here tonight against a tough Majors lineup.
Tough London Majors lineup that we will now get a look at here, brought to you by EatHealthyEats.ca. The starting lineup that Brett Reed will face for the Majors begins with Austin Wilkie at the top of the order.
Yeah, we talked about how the Majors put Cleveland Brownlee back into that 3-spot. Robert Mullen back batting cleanup. Jacob Newton still bats second, followed by Brownlee, Mullen, Joseph. As we've seen so often this year, it's led to a lot of success for the Majors this season. Gibson Kraminski bats sixth, and that's kind of a spot that he's solidified as well, Noah. Ever since he's come to the Majors, he kind of bounced around a little bit. Was at the top of the order, was at the very bottom of the order. Now he's kind of found a home in that 6th spot to go along with Brownlee, Mullen, and Joseph in the 3, 4, 5 holes. Dan Perrier bats 7th, Keith Candell batting 8th at shortstop, and Phil Whalen bats 9th in left field.
So the Majors starting lineup to face Brett Reed on the mound for the Kitchener Panthers here in the bottom half of inning number 1. And now stepping to the plate will be Austin Wilkie here to lead things off for the Majors.
Austin Wilkie got off to a slow start to the year for the London Majors. Really struggled for quite a while, but ever since he's returned from a little bit of a pause, he's been fantastic. He's batting .284 now on the season. He has hit 2 home runs since returning from his break. 11 runs batted in. He's been a great bat to have at the top of the order. He was such a useful hitter to that championship team last year, Noah. I think the expectations were high for Austin Wilkie this season, and he's meeting them right now.
First pitch from Reed will miss outside, so he'll fall behind 1-0 here to Austin Wilkie to lead off the bottom of the first inning. Now ready again. Curveball, and Wilkie is going to drive that one out to left field. Looking back on the track, and gone! Austin Wilkie plays long ball here in the bottom of the first inning, and the Majors didn't take long to tie this ball game up at 1 apiece.
Mentioned that ever since Austin Wilkie returned, the bat has really been there for the Majors center fielder, and right there, another example of it. He drove that baseball to left field right off the bat. You could tell that thing had a chance of getting out of the ballpark. It was scorched. It was a laser to left. Gets over the left field fence, and all of a sudden this Majors offense has tied things back up. It didn't even take them 3 pitches.
3rd home run of the season for Austin Wilkie. And it leads off the ball game here for the Majors. We are tied at 1 as now Jacob Newton will step to the plate. Can't ask for a much better start on offense for the Majors. Reed ready, delivers, and the first pitch to Newton is going to be fouled off and out of play.
Good job by Jacob Newton fouling off that tough pitch. Majors now have evened things up. They're going to look to build off of that momentum, and that's what the top of the order for the Majors can do to you. Jacob Newton this season as well has been having a great year ever since coming over to the team, and he'll be looking to build off of what Wilkie just did.
Takes that pitch low, so the count evens up at 1-1.
Newton this season, ever since coming over to the Majors, batting .360.
Off-speed pitch misses inside to Newton. Having a successful year in the Pinstripes, 15 games, as you mentioned there, Dylan. Now takes a fastball off the plate. 3 balls and a strike now. Cleveland Brownlee, the designated hitter, stands on deck for the Majors here in the bottom half of the first inning. 3-1 delivery. Now this one's going to be crushed out to center field. Looking back to the track, and gone! Jacob Newton goes back-to-back with Austin Wilkie to lead off the bottom of the first. And the Majors now lead 2-1.
That's what this Majors order can do to you. Even the guys who aren't batting 3rd, 4th, and 5th can hit the ball out of the ballpark. An example of it right there with Jacob Newton driving that baseball to center field. They go back-to-back, and Newton goes to the deepest part of the ballpark. You haven't even faced the top guys in average in home runs and runs batted in the Intercounty Baseball League, and you're down 2-1 on 2 home runs. The Majors offense is incredible this season.
So now Cleveland Brownlee will come to the plate here for the Majors. Back-to-back home runs to lead off the bottom of the first. Have the Majors out in front 2-1. Reed ready. The first pitch, a curveball to Brownlee, will miss low and outside. Brownlee still tied atop the intercounty lead for home runs with 9. Pitch outside from Reed. 2 balls and no strikes. Now the pitch inside to Brownlee, fouled straight back into the screen. 2-1 here. It's a 3-way tie in terms of home runs across the IBL leaderboard. Robert Mullen, Justin Gideon for Hamilton, and Cleveland Brownlee, all with 9 home runs.
A lot of power on display in the IBL this season so far.
Brownlee fouled that one off. Looked like it fouled off his foot as he'll take a walk around the home plate area on the count that moves to 2-2.
Cleveland Brownlee got ahead in this count, 2 balls and no strikes, and has fouled 2 tough pitches off since then. Still recovering from that foul ball right there as he picks up his bat once more and gets set to face the 2-2 offering.
Fans cheering on Brownlee as he steps back into the right-hand batter's box and will face the 2-2 pitch. To the plate, Brownlee holds off on a breaking ball that was in the dirt and in the left-hand batter's box. And the count moves to full here on the Majors' designated hitter.
Good patience on display right now from Cleveland Brownlee, laying off a tough pitch right there. Now a pitch away from a base on balls.
Popped up, foul territory, and that one will find its way out of play. Count 3-2 still here on Brownlee. Robert Mullen stands on deck for the Majors.
Doesn't get any easier after Cleve.
2 runs on 2 solo home runs here in the bottom of the first. Pitch to Brownlee, fastball misses outside, and Brownlee will take the walk here. And Robert Mullen will stroll the plate with a runner on here. Still nobody out in the bottom of the first.
Really good plate appearance right there for Cleveland Brownlee. He got ahead 2-0 very quickly and then fell back down to a 2-2 count after a couple of foul balls, including one off of his foot. He was able to shake it off, didn't get over anxious there at the plate, wasn't trying to force a base hit, and was able to lay off some tough pitches and get on first base with a walk.
So Reed ready on the mound here, still looking for the first out of the bottom of the inning. Comes set, now ready to go. That one's going to be in the dirt, blocked. Brownlee's going to take off for second, and he's going to be in standing up on that pitch that got away from the catcher, 1-0.
A good attempt at the block there from the catcher, Robbie Gauthier, but that one scooted away from him, and Cleveland Brownlee, a very heads-up decision to move up 90 feet and now stands in scoring position. You touched on it before Mullen started his at-bat. Still nobody out in this inning. The Majors once again in a good spot to score some runs.
Reed checks back at the runner Brownlee at second. Fastball off the plate to Robert Mullen, and it's 2-0.
One of the things I really enjoy seeing with Robert Mullen at the plate is when he knows the pitch is off the plate just by a little bit, he'll stick his hand out there and he'll say, "That's off, that's off." He did it again right there. It's something he does quite often to maybe help himself and also give a little nudge to the umpire.
Ready for a 2-0 delivery. To the plate, and Mullen popped up. Playable here. Gauthier's back, and he's going to make the catch. A little bit of trouble behind the dish there, but the Panthers will get the first out on a pop-up of Robert Mullen.
While that play does often look routine with the way catchers make it behind the plate, it is anything but. You've got to turn yourself around as a catcher, try to find that baseball and track it as it's flying. You have to backpedal quite often. It's a very difficult play, and a great job by Robbie Gauthier tracking that ball down, able to make the grab for the first out.
So 1 gone now. Brownlee stands at second. And Starling Joseph will now come to the plate. Looking to keep the Majors going here in the bottom half of inning number 1, leading by a score of 2-1. Curveball starts the at-bat to him as that one finds the outside edge. 0-1 to Joseph. Joseph this season, a .343 batting average. He's gone deep 6 times and has batted in 19 runs. 0-1. Curveball again. This one misses off the plate. 1-1 here to Joseph.
Starling having a very productive season for the Majors this year at the plate. He struck out a fair amount, but when he puts the ball in play, he hits it hard. And last Friday night, I think he hit the longest ball, or the first ball I've ever seen go as far as it did to dead center field. It was like into the top of the trees in dead center there. So Joseph absolutely has a ton of pop.
Reed looks back. Now the 1-1 delivery. Joseph off the end of the bat, right field. Coming over Jarvis, a long run for it. He's going to make the catch. Brownlee holds at second as the throw come in, and there's 2 gone.
Good job by Jet Jarvis tracking that baseball down. Not hit overly deep. He had a long way to run to make that grab, and he was able to do just that, racing in and making the catch there on the run and setting up just in case Cleveland Brownlee had the audacity to tag up, but smartly he elected to stay at second base.
So after a couple of long balls and a walk to Brownlee, Reed's got back-to-back outs on a pop-up and a fly out to right, and now we'll face Gibson Kraminski here with 2 gone and try and get the Panthers out of this bottom of the first inning. Grabs his sign, set on the mound, and checks back at 2. Now delivers to the plate. It's going to miss outside. Kraminski ahead in the count 1-0. Majors lineup on any given night can be so dangerous from 1 through 9. You can't let your foot off the gas after you get a couple of big outs. 1-0 delivery, and now Kraminski lifts one out to right center over his leader, and he'll make the catch to retire the sign here in the bottom of inning number 1. But the Majors get 2 runs back, courtesy of a couple of long balls at the top of the order. It's a 2-1 London Majors lead after the first here on Majors TV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah, I have to say, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors. We come back here to Labatt Memorial Park, 1 inning complete at the ball yard, and the Majors leading by a score of 2-1 on Dylan. Back-to-back home runs to start the bottom of the first. That's got to be the first time we've seen that.
Yeah, I think it's the first time this season, maybe first time in our time here with the Majors that we've seen that, Noah. Exactly what you wanted out of your first 2 batters. After falling behind 1-0 in the top of the first inning, they come back with back-to-back home runs. Just fantastic stuff from Austin Wilkie and Jacob Newton right there.
We talked about how Owen Boone would love to come back out to the second inning with a lead. The Majors have done that for him, and the first pitch that he'll throw will miss outside. 1-0 here to start the top half of the second inning.
First time in the ballgame that Owen Boone has missed with the first pitch to a batter.
Comes to the plate, and that one's going to be fouled off by Keegan Marsden, who will lead things off for the Panthers here in the top half of the second. Panthers scored a run on a hit in the top of the first. Now upstairs to Marsden, 2-1.
Yeah, that single on an error that was originally scored a single on an error has now been ruled a two-base error that allowed Andy Leader to reach.
Pitch is fouled off by Marsden and out of play. So the count moves to 2-2. Keegan Marsden this season, a .262 average for the Panthers in 22 games on the season. So still getting his games in here with the Panthers. Looking to try and start the second inning for him here. It's a 2-2 count. Boone to the plate, just missing low with the fastball. And now the count moves to full.
And not a bad pitch there from Owen Boone. Came very close to getting Marsden at the knees, but just a little bit low, maybe a little bit inside as well, according to the home plate umpire. But a very good pitch on 2-2. We'll see what he comes with here on the full count.
Boone grabs his sign, ready to deliver this one. Hit the other way, down the left field line, long run, and not going to be able to get there is Phil Whalen, but it drops in foul territory. So a long strike off the bat of Marsden.
Yeah, Phil Whalen, pretty good speed on display right there, trying to track that baseball down. It just kept slicing and slicing away from him. Didn't really have a shot off the bat, I thought, Noah, but he made it pretty close with the hustle that he displayed, and it gets just into foul territory, skips off the warning track, and out of play.
So they'll redo the 3-2. Boone ready. Here's the pitch to the plate. Fouled straight back into the screen. Marsden stays alive once again, fouling off that two-strike pitch. Marsden making Boone throw a lot of pitches here to start the inning. And a swing and a miss. Changes up the speeds on the outside portion of the plate, and another strikeout for Owen Boone. And there's one gone.
We often talk about the fastball when we talk about Owen Boone and how good it is, the speed that he's got on that pitch. But so far, the changeup's kind of been his strikeout pitch, Noah. That's another strikeout that he's gotten with it. The first two batters, Jet Jarvis and Blake Jacklin, both struck out on changeups. And right there, he threw another great one to Keegan Marsden to get the swing and miss for the first out of the second inning.
First out and the fourth strikeout for Owen Boone to start the ball game. Count is 0-1 now. Curveball hit out to center field by Whalen. Underneath it, Wilkie, and it's caught for the second out of the inning.
Pretty good swing put on that baseball by Stephen Whalen, driving it out to center field, but a routine fly ball for Austin Wilkie out there, taking a couple of steps to his right and making the grab for the second out of the second inning. Good play by the Majors center fielder.
So two quick outs for Owen Boone here to start the second inning. Same way he started the first before a couple of hits got the Panthers on the board. And now that one is swung on and missed, and the count moves to 0-1.
Good breaking ball to start off Tyler Henriquez, the shortstop for the Kitchener Panthers. Something we haven't really seen from Boone so far. He's mostly come with the fastball in the first offering, but gets a chase right there on the curve.
Comes right back to that curveball. Two straight to Henriquez to start the at-bat, and the count moves to 0-2.
When it works, why not go right back to it? A good offering right there. This time Henriquez didn't offer at it, but Boone got the called strike. Now he's well ahead.
Now fastball just missing. Pretty good location from Boone. They went curveball, curveball, and then fastball.
Fastball up after a couple of curveballs. Great idea from Owen Boone and Robert Mullen. Just didn't get the chase they were looking for.
Ready on 1-2. Breaking ball inside. Slipped out of the hand there of Owen Boone. Didn't get the release on it he wanted, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The target was always to hit the inside part of the plate with that curveball, just a little bit too far inside, which leads to it being ball 2.
Mullen sets up inside. Fastball comes inside, but too much. And now the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Good job by Tyler Henriquez right now. Falling behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Could have been put away on 3 pitches. A high fastball. Good job laying off of it to make it 1-2 and has made Boone work. And now he's back in the count. It's full.
And now that one's going to skip through the legs of Mullen. Henriquez will take a walk with 2 gone.
Not what you want to do if you're Owen Boone, especially after you got ahead of Tyler Henriquez 0-2. But he did a great job in that at-bat of fighting and working his way back into it to get that walk. After he threw 2 strikes to get things going, Boone threw 4 balls in a row, and Henriquez was able to reach pretty easily with the base on balls. A couple of tough pitches in there, but most of them were either too far inside, and then the last one was well low and skipped past Robert Mullen.
So a 2-out walk gives the Panthers a base runner here, as the catcher Robbie Gauthier will come to the plate. First pitch to him is going to be fouled off and make its way into the seats above the Majors dugout. So Owen Boone gets ahead 0-1.
Robbie Gauthier in the previous matchups with the Majors this season has just 1 hit for the Kitchener Panthers, and the Majors have yet to make a trip to Jack Couch Park this year. There was a game scheduled in Kitchener that got rained out. No makeup date for that ball game announced to this point, I don't believe. The Majors still waiting to make their first trip to Kitchener.
0-1, fastball off the outer edge. Doesn't get the call on Gauthier. The count now even at 1.
That just missed the outside corner right there. Still a very good pitch from Owen Boone.
Boone comes set. Quick check, now delivers to the plate. Drops it in on the outside edge. Gauthier can't believe the call, and it goes to 1-2.
Yeah, Robbie Gauthier seemed pretty surprised that that call was a strike on the outside corner. Gauthier behind the plate. You think he has a pretty good feel for the strike zone, though it's only been 1 inning, and was stunned that home plate umpire Bob Blake called that a strike.
Got to protect here on 1-2. Gauthier does. Mullen setting up on the outside portion of the plate, and a swing and a miss on the fastball. And Owen Boone, with his 5th strikeout of the ball game, is through the 2nd inning here, putting up a 0 for the Majors.
Owen Boone striking a lot of batters out, as he typically does when he is on. 6 possible outs through 2 innings. 5 of them have come via the strikeout. Boone has been on top of his game, and it's been a sight to behold so far in this contest. The only Kitchener run tonight has been on an error from Gibson Kraminski, so Boone has been locked in, and he's rolling right now.
Dylan, while we have a break in the action, let's check out the Intercounty Baseball League standings coming into this weekend. Another big weekend for the Majors. And with the 3-game losing streak, have moved to 2.5 games back of the Welland Jackfish, who are now in first place of the Intercounty Baseball League. The Guelph Royals were on a little bit of a roll before they rolled into Welland Stadium last night and lost to the Jackfish. And those top 3 teams, along with Barrie, Toronto right behind them, it really is still a logjam at the top of the standings.
Absolutely it is. When you get a look at it on your screen there, I mean, last week I think Majors were a game back coming into the weekend of the Welland Jackfish, and because of the losses, they fell behind, and the Jackfish, as you mentioned, trounced the Guelph Royals last night. I believe the final score was 20-2 on Welland's Pack the Park night. So it's very, very close right now. Nobody's really getting a huge lead. I think this is one of the bigger leads that we've had between the first place and second place team this season. 2.5 games for the Welland Jackfish, but the Guelph Royals sit a game back of the Majors. The Barrie Baycats sit a game back of the Majors. And the Toronto Maple Leafs sit 2 back of the Majors, 1 back of the Baycats and Royals. It's all very, very close in the top 5. And the Kitchener Panthers aren't out of striking distance just yet. It's a little more unlikely for them, but they're not too far behind the Maple Leafs, only 4.5 games.
Kitchener hasn't been helping themselves of late, 4-6 in their last 10 games. And Dylan, you mentioned the rough go of things for Guelph last night in Welland. The Kitchener Panthers in their last 4 games have given up 20-plus runs in 3 of those ball games.
Noah, if I remember correctly, last night they were playing the Hamilton Cardinals. The final score, I think, was 21-12 Kitchener. They're playing high-scoring ball games right now. The offense, as we touched on in the pregame, has been rolling. The pitching just hasn't really been there to this point.
They'll look to try and hold the Majors here as we move along to the bottom half of inning number 2. And it'll be Dan Perrier to lead things off for the Majors in the inning. Perrier Dillon this season has been swinging a good bat as that first pitch misses off the plate. I don't know if I would say it's a surprise to many who've seen him hit before, but coming in to the season, he is now hitting .348 so far this year for the Majors.
Yeah, Dan Perrier has been fantastic for the Majors so far. He started off well with a hit in each of his first 2 games, then kind of slowed down a little bit, went through a bit of a slump, but he's bursted out of that slump and been even better. He's been fantastic recently, leading to him playing more for the Majors and continuing to put up results.
He fouls that one off the opposite way down the right field line. The count moves to 0-2 here on Perrier to lead off the inning. Here's the look as Reed comes to the plate. That one well upstairs. Perrier, Candel, and Whalen. 7, 8, 9 here in the bottom of the second inning for the Majors. Curveball hit on the ground, up the middle, and into center field. A base hit for Dan Perrier to lead off the inning.
High chopper by Dan Perrier, and that was going to be a very tough play for Tyler Henriquez as he ranged towards the middle there to try and come up with that baseball. He was likely not going to be able to make that play off the bat, you thought, and he was not able to grab that as he ran back up the middle trying to make what would have been a fantastic play on Dan Perrier, just hitting the perfect spot by the Majors first baseman, and he's able to reach.
So Keith Candel will come to the plate now after the leadoff base hit by Perrier. Reed will check on the runner and now set himself on the mound as Candel squares around to bunt. Now pulls back and watches that first pitch go off the glove of Gauthier. Perrier couldn't get a good read on it, so he's still over at first base.
I think the bunt from Keith Candel, or the square around, kind of fooled the catcher, Robbie Gauthier. He was in bunt mode trying to field that bunt that was coming from Keith Candel, but he pulled back. And that was a pass ball, or would have been if Dan Perrier had moved up, but won't be ruled anything now that Perrier still stands at first.
Now a hit and run on that one, hit into foul territory, and just running out of room is Wilson as it goes up against the dugout fence. Perrier had to scramble back to first base.
Great effort there from Liam Wilson, and Dan Perrier heads up, realized about halfway through that he would have to chug back to first because if Wilson caught that baseball, Brett Reed was right on top of it on the mound. He was headed over to first base to cover for Wilson. They might have been able to double off Perrier, but luckily for the big Majors first baseman, it was just out of the reach of Liam Wilson.
Count now 1-1 on Candel. Reed checks, now comes to the plate, drops in a curveball against Keith, and it's 1-2.
Really good curveball there from Reed. Just falls into the strike zone there on Keith Candel. Candel wasn't quite ready for it after seeing the fastball earlier on in this at-bat. Got a piece, but not a lot of it.
Ready for the 1-2. Reed, curveball in the dirt, blocked by Gauthier. And the count goes to 2-2. Perrier not getting an overly big lead over at first base. Probably not a threat to run either. They keep him close, at least keep checking on him here.
No, I don't believe we've seen Dan Perrier steal a base or even attempt a stolen base to this point this season. So not really a threat to run over at first, unless there's a hit and run on the table like we saw a little earlier.
This one is going to be hit out to right field. Base hit for Candel. Perrier thought about it. He rounded second hard, but he's into second base. The Majors back-to-back singles here to begin the second inning.
Jet Jarvis has a very good arm out in right field, so if Dan Perrier tried to get to third base, there's a good chance he would have been thrown out with the arm that Jarvis has. Keith Candel did not hit that baseball very hard, but got just enough of it to muster it over the head of Liam Wilson and to drop it into shallow right to get on base. So good job by Keith there, keeping the line moving, getting two guys on with nobody out.
So Phil Whalen now, bottom of the Majors order. After back-to-back hits to start the inning, we'll try to keep the line moving. And now a pickoff move to 2, or at least a step back by Reed. Perrier scrambles back to second base.
There's a man over at second. Dan Perrier would have been picked off. He was fooled over there, but luckily for him, nobody was close enough to the bag.
This is where Perrier has to be careful as well. Majors on the Panthers here to start the inning, as now this one is going to be bunted, but foul by Whalen, and the count moves to 0-1.
With 2 guys on, nobody out, not a bad idea for the Majors to get Phil Whalen to drop the bunt down. Whalen, a versatile guy. He can swing the bat very well. He can also drop down a bunt when you need him to. We'll see if the bunt's still on after that one was fouled straight back at the screen by the Majors left fielder.
We saw Candell square around, but then pull back on the first pitch he saw. More of a deceptive strategy than anything, but Whalen obviously was trying to get one down with a couple of guys on. Now he'll square around again, and once again will bunt it foul, moving the count to 0-2.
Looked like that pitch had a little bit of movement on it, and Whalen wasn't really able to square it up on the bunt attempt. Bunted that one foul just as he did the last one. You have to imagine on 0-2 the bunt is not going to be on for the Majors, so unfortunately Whalen just not able to get it down for London, and now will swing away. The one thing you do have if you're the Majors, Whalen's got a pretty good bat, so we'll see what he can do on 2 strikes.
In an 0-2 hole, Reed really checking on Perrier. Comes to the plate and a swing and a miss. They get Phil Whalen for a big first out of the inning.
Yeah, pulling the string there on Phil Whalen, dropping in a breaking ball that he swung right over top of for the first out. It's a big first out of the bottom of the second inning for Brett Reed after allowing the first 2 men to reach for the Majors. He fights back and gets a strikeout of Whalen. Whalen unable to get the bunt down, so I'm sure he's frustrated right now. Top of the order coming up. Wilkie did damage his last trip, so did Jacob Newton. So there are guys coming up for the Majors that can put a ball out of the ballpark or at least drive one guy home with a base hit.
Majors turn the lineup over here. Reed checks on him, and now comes to Wilkie, who hits it on the ground to second base. Flip to 2. Back to 1 in time. And the Panthers turn a double play to get themselves out of a jam here in the second. The Majors will strand a base runner, unable to get anything across in the bottom of 2. It is a 2-1 London Majors lead as we continue on here on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me.
We welcome you back to Majors TV coverage of London Majors baseball here. The Kitchener Panthers in town on this Friday night. And the London Majors out to an early 2-1 lead as Owen Boone goes back out to the mound for the Majors. Dylan, he's off to a pretty good start in the ball game. Really has the strikeout stuff going through 2 innings complete.
Yeah, the Majors fell behind early on an error by Gibson Kraminski that got away from first baseman Dan Perrier and allowed a run to come in to score. Owen Boone's been locked in the entire time, though. 1 hit allowed through 2 innings of work. He's struck out 5 batters, only walked 1. He's been locked in. He's been executing his pitches well. The put-away stuff has been there. Boone is on 1 so far today.
So Boone ready to go here in the top half of inning number 3 as the Panthers work back to the top of the order. First pitch going to miss low to Jarvis, and the count goes to 1-0.
Boone got ahead of Jet Jarvis in his last trip to the plate, threw him quite a few fastballs to get rolling. I think 4 straight fastballs, then threw him a changeup and got him to strike out.
Now just missing again, so he falls behind 2-0.
That one very close from Owen Boone, much closer than the last one. Nearly had the inside corner, but just off, according to home plate umpire Bob Lake.
And now it's going to be hit out to left field for a leadoff base hit for Jet Jarvis here to begin the third.
Similarly to the hit that Keith Candell had in the bottom of the second inning, Jet Jarvis just loops one this time over the third baseman's head off the end of the bat, and that gets in for a base hit. So exactly what you want from your leadoff man. He gets on base, and Jarvis with his speed, we'll see if he's on the move.
Panthers trailing by a run here as we move to the third inning, and they have the leadoff man on after the base hit by Jarvis. Blake Jacklin now will look to have a good second at bat as he laces that one up the middle for a base hit. So back-to-back hits to start the inning for Kitchener here in the top of the third.
Kitchener with a very good start to the third inning here at Labatt Park. A hard hit single for Blake Jacklin right back up the middle, and all of a sudden Kitchener 2 guys on, nobody out, the heart of the order coming up. This is exactly what you want if you're Don Menard and the Kitchener Panthers.
The Majors began the bottom of the second with 2 straight base hits before the Panthers worked out of the jam, and now Owen Boone and the Majors is going to look to try to do so here in the top half of the third. They're going to have to go through the top of this Kitchener order to do so.
Liam Wilson had the only hit of the ball game, I should say, coming into this inning for the Kitchener Panthers when he doubled in the first.
First pitch low from Boone, picked out of the dirt by Mullen.
Boone tried to start Wilson off with a breaking ball. He was not tempted, and that one missed.
Got ahead of him in the first inning. Got it to a 2-strike count, and then a great performance by Wilson at the plate to take it the other way past the diving Perrier and into right field for a double. Delivery, and now this one is going to be hit into left field. They're going to hold the runner at third, so everybody moves up on the play. And 3 straight Kitchener hits to start the third, load the bases.
That ball wasn't hit very hard off the bat of Liam Wilson, and it kind of died in the grass on the infield as well. So Phil Whalen had to come charging hard from left, and Don Menard saw how quickly he was coming and how much momentum he was going to be able to get behind his throw, and held up Jet Jarvis over at third base, despite the fact that Jarvis does have good speed. And so the bases are going to be loaded now for Andy Leader, and this is exactly what you draw up when you put in the lineup card. You've got your cleanup man coming up. Bases are loaded for him. The top of the order started this inning, did exactly what you want them to do. It was a single and then another single to load the bases, and the Kitchener Panthers, with nobody out, are in a very good spot.
Mound visit as Brent Wales, the pitching coach, makes his way out to talk things over with Owen Boone and Robert Mullen. More of just a chance to grab a breather and calm down and set yourself as you get set to try and get the Majors out of this inning.
Looks like the Majors are going to be playing the corners in, as you get a good look at it on your screen there. Kraminski and Perrier in at the cut of the grass. Candell and Newton up the middle are playing double play depth.
And now this one is hit into left field, a base hit. In to score Jarvis, right behind him Jacklin, and the Panthers now lead 3-2.
Tough luck there for the Majors. Another one that wasn't hit overly hard. Keith Candell leapt up and just could not make the play on that bloop single, and Whalen came in but was not going to be in time as Blake Jacklin came in to score. So Kitchener regains the 1-run lead here, and they're not done. They've still got 2 guys on, including 1 in scoring position. Still nobody out in the inning. It's been a great start to the third for Kitchener.
Mullen letting the infield know what the bunt play is on if the Panthers decide to try and put one down. Perrier playing in on the grass. They will square around. The first pitch catches the bottom of the zone to DiClemente, and it's 0-1.
Dan Perrier was well in there for the London Majors. They are expecting the bunt right now, and DiClemente did square on the first pitch, though he pulled back. Called strike nonetheless. You'd have to imagine it's on again here with 1 strike.
Boone checking back at the runner. Bunt taken off here as that one misses low, and it's 1-1.
Good take there for DiClemente, and it's possible that first pitch bunt attempt was just a square to see what the infield would do with no real intention of bunting, because it wasn't a bad pitch from Owen Boone. It wasn't a bad pitch to bunt on by any means either, and he pulled back nonetheless. So an interesting call there for the Panthers, pulling the bunt off here.
Now on the ground and foul down the first base line.
That one was hit hard off the bat of Kennedy Clemente down the first base line. Dan Perrier reached out for it, couldn't come up with it. It was just foul, and I'm sure he's grateful for that, as are the Majors, because that would have scored 1 for sure, maybe even 2 runs if that ball was far enough away from Starling Joseph.
But it moves the count to 1-2 for Owen Boone here. Still nobody out in the inning. Panthers 2 runs across here in the top of the third. Leg kick, delivery, and fouled back to the screen.
Majors are lucky that DiClemente got a piece of that pitch, because if it was strike 3 and it got back to the screen, then you would have had to throw out Wilson or Leader moving up to second or third. They would have certainly advanced the 90 feet. DiClemente would not have been able to run to first because first base was occupied, but Majors dodged a bullet there a little bit. Boone still ahead in the count, though I'm sure he would have liked to put him away on that last pitch.
And he does on this one, a swing and a miss. And a big strikeout for out number 1 for Owen Boone.
6th strikeout of the ball game, Noah, and he's only had the ability to get 7 outs to this point. 6 of them have been via the strikeout, so he's got that strikeout pitch working. The changeup has been fantastic for Owen Boone, and he'll look to continue that here as he tries to work his way out of a jam. Wilson at second, Leader at first. Still in a tough spot with a good hitter at the plate.
Boone's first pitch on the outside edge with the fastball. And it's called a strike by home plate umpire Bob Blake. 0-1 now.
Owen Boone up to 57 pitches through 2 1/3 innings, through 24 in the first, 20 in the second, up to 13 so far in the third, and he's only got 1 out, so the pitch count is a little bit elevated right now.
Oh, 1 delivery will miss low, and the count moves to 1-1. Dylan, that's the one thing about striking out a lot of batters, is that the quickest you can do that is 3 pitches. You do tend to throw a lot more pitches in a ball game when you're having those high strikeout games.
Absolutely, and the Kitchener Panthers have done a good job so far at the plate of battling as well. Even when they do strike out, they battle, they see a lot of pitches.
A lot of 2-2, even some 3-2 strikeouts mixed in there as well. So, yeah, you're getting the outs, it's good, but you're throwing 6-7 pitches in the process. And as you said, he's thrown over 20 pitches in each inning so far. Has a 1-2 count here on Keegan Marsden. Looking to try and find a big out number 2. Ground ball away from getting out of this inning. Delivery and popped up, foul territory. Krominski a look, but it's going to be out of play.
No shot there for Gibson Krominski. He was over at the fence just in case, but it was well into the rows of seating and out of play. So Boone will have to do it again on the 1-2 to Keegan Marsden. Marsden in his first trip to the plate for the Kitchener Panthers struck out swinging. He'll look to avoid doing that here, at least trying to put the ball in play to move the runners up if possible.
Boone has his sign from Robert Mullen. Now set on the mound as a quick look back to second. To the plate, and a swing and a miss. 7th of the ball game for Owen Boone. There's 2 gone.
Good fastball there from Owen Boone, just off the outside corner. Got the chase from Keegan Marsden for strike 3. It's Boone's 7th punch out of the ball game. He's been rolling with that strikeout pitch so far. That one a fastball. He's used the changeup quite a lot as well for the Majors up to this point, and he'll look to get some quicker outs here as the game progresses, trying to get out of this jam.
Still not out of it yet here with a couple of runners on. Although a couple of big outs recorded by Owen Boone. And now we'll start the at-bat to Whalen with a strike. It's 0-1. Leader at first, Wilson at second. 2 runs across for Kitchener here in the inning. Hit out to right center. Joseph over to his right. On the run, makes the catch, and the inning is over. Owen Boone gets out of it. But the Panthers have regained the lead, 3-2.
Good job by Starling Joseph tracking that baseball down in the right center field gap. And the Kitchener Panthers started off this inning absolutely perfectly. 3 straight singles to load the bases. Then Andy Leader was able to drive home 2 runs. Jet Jarvis and Blake Jackal, the number 1 and 2 hitters, came in to score the 2nd and 3rd runs for the Kitchener Panthers to take the lead 3-2. And Kitchener working from ahead here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
The London Majors are on all your favorite social media platforms. Give us a follow at London Majors, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow us here on YouTube. And, of course, we are being told now to always plug the TikTok account.
The TikTok account, Noah, something that's new for the Majors this season, has grown pretty strongly so far.
They've done a good job with it.
Absolutely.
Andrew Ward doing a fantastic job at creating content. We talked about this last weekend, but a new way and a new look at some of your favorite London Majors players. Of course, following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where we are always putting out the content. And if you haven't already, subscribe to us here on the YouTube channel. It helps us in the long run producing these games for you. And we thank you for tuning in here on this Friday night here from London. The Kitchener Panthers out in front to a 3-2 lead as we go to the bottom half of inning number 3.
Majors scored 2 in the first inning pretty quickly after they fell behind 1-0. Austin Wilkie, the leadoff man for the Majors, saw 2 pitches and tied things up with a home run. Then Jacob Newton, right after him, was able to hit a home run of his own to dead center field, and the Majors took the lead 2-1 early. They've been looking to regain that lead ever since the Panthers took it in the top of the 3rd inning. They fell behind, and now it'll be up to Jacob Newton, Cleveland Brownlee, and Robert Mullen to get that lead back for London.
Good spot to do it here for the Majors. 2-3-4 to begin the bottom half of inning number 3. Brett Reed still out on the mound there for the Panthers, as you see. Had a much better bottom half of the 2nd inning. Damage control, he's done a good job so far. Majors 4 hits through 2 innings.
Yeah, after that first inning, he settled in a little bit better for the Kitchener Panthers. Had a scoreless 2nd. We'll look to build on that and keep improving here in the 3rd.
First pitch is going to be fouled off. Started with a breaking ball that finds its way into the seats.
Bit of a scare for some fans down the 3rd base line. Ball came bouncing down, and nobody was able to make the grab.
Newton at the plate here, ready for his 0-1 delivery. Reed's pitch is going to miss off the plate to even the count up at 1-1.
Just missed there with the breaking ball off the outside. Newton took it for ball 1. Of course, as mentioned during the break, Newton homered in his first trip.
Took a big cut at that one. Moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes now. Reed has done a lot better job here moving along in this start at keeping pitches away from the middle of the plate here. The 1-2 called strike 3 on the outside edge, and Newton is set down on strikes to begin the inning.
Looked like a little bit of late movement on that pitch to find the outside corner. Jacob Newton talks it over with Bob Blake, the home plate umpire, and a very good offering from Brett Reed to get a called strike 3 on a very good bat in this Majors lineup. Got a big first out, not allowing him to reach base at the heart of the order coming up.
So Cleveland Brownlee comes to the plate now. He'll look to try and start things with 1 gone in the inning. First pitch hit on the ground hard. Third base on a hop. The throw to one in time to get Brownlee, and there's two gone.
Good play by Kenny DiClemente, the third baseman for the Kitchener Panthers. Hit pretty hard over to third base, took a couple of steps to his left and fired a strike over to first. No, it could just be me, but it feels like so far the ball is dying a little bit on the infield grass. It's really slowing the baseball down as it rolls.
It sure looks like it, and we'll keep an eye on that as the game goes on. Here in the London region and all across Ontario and other provinces and states in the area, we've been going through a little bit of a drought recently. So the grass, although getting watered here at Labatt Park, not as green and luscious as it has been in the past. And whether or not that's slowing down the ball or not, we'll keep an eye on that as we move along as well. Reed's got two quick outs here against 2 and 3 in the order, and now the first pitch to Robert Mullen is called to strike 0-1.
Rick Mullen checked his swing, but it didn't really matter. That pitch was in the strike zone according to the home plate umpire, so he falls behind 0-1.
Curveball bounced in the dirt, blocked by Gauthier. A ball and a strike now here on the London Majors catcher Robert Mullen. .433 average coming into this ball game, Dylan.
He has been fantastic. He's been everything the Majors could have asked for and more this season.
1-1. Taken low by Mullen. 2 balls and a strike now. Plays a very good defensive catcher and brings with it a fantastic bat. 2-1 delivery, fouled back into the screen, and the count now 2-2.
It's funny, Noah, down on the field for batting practice today, Cleveland and Robert were joking with me, asking who was the better hitter on the team. Both of them off to fantastic starts to the year, and you could pick your categories where Mullen leads, where Cleveland leads, but they've been terrific bats for the Majors so far.
Ready in the 2-2, upstairs to Mullen, and the count goes to full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mullen looking to find his way on base. You talk about which one of those guys has had the better start. Cleveland has actually been struggling a little bit lately, and he's still batting .380. So it tells you how good of a start he's gotten off to, as that one's fouled back by Mullen into the screen, and he'll stay alive on 3-2.
Yeah, Cleveland Brownlee was off to a ridiculous start to this season. He was up in the high 400s for quite a while. He's dropped down a little bit recently, as you mentioned, Noah, but still batting .380. I mean, that just tells you how well Cleveland started the season. He was hitting a ton of home runs. He was hitting for a high average, getting on base, and he's still doing a few of those things, but has struggled a little bit of late.
Now a pitch comes inside and hits Robert Mullen. Was the breaking ball, so he'll just take that one off the arm, and he'll take first base with 2 outs here, giving the Majors a 2-out base runner.
Mullen will certainly take that. 2 strikes. You get on base with a hit by pitch. I believe he's got an elbow pad there, so couldn't have been I couldn't have hurt him too much, I believe, on that breaking ball. Just got too far inside on the Majors catcher, and he's able to take first base now with 2 out.
So that'll bring Starling Joseph to the plate. And he'll look to try and get a hit and continue on the inning here for the Majors with 2 gone. Robert Mullen at first. Pitch, breaking ball to Joseph, and it's called a strike. No balls and a strike here to begin the at-bat.
Starling Joseph 0 for 1 in the ball game today. Popped out to shallow right field. Jet Jarvis came in to make the grab at his first trip to the plate.
Now the look, the 0-1 delivery. Good take by Joseph as that one's off the plate. And the count moves to 1-1.
Pretty good pitch there from Brett Reed, but a little bit off the plate. Didn't get the chase he was looking for from Starling Joseph. Obviously, that pitch had no shot of being in the strike zone, but you're hoping to fool the batter enough that he'll swing at that, and Joseph did a good job laying off.
Reed grabs his sign on 1-1. Pitch well off the plate. Gauthier had to reach for that one into the other batter's box. And now grabbing some dirt on the mound and rubbing that around is Brett Reed.
Trying to get a better grip on the baseball. Missed pretty badly with the first ball and then missed again right there. So looking to figure it out and find the strike zone once again.
2-1 delivery. Joseph hit the other way towards the line. Giving it a run is Jarvis, and that one's going to land in the Kitchener bullpen. A foul ball.
Jarvis has good speed. He's a great defender, but because he was shaded more towards left field on that foul ball, he was unable to track that baseball down. If he's playing at normal depth, there's a higher chance that he catches it. But with the big righty power bat of Starling Joseph, he was shifted more to the left and couldn't come up with it.
Joseph has to make his way back from first base on the play. And now we'll get ready for another 2-2. Reed set on the mound. To the plate. Joseph the other way into right field, a base hit. Drops in front of Jarvis. Mullen just goes to second, and the Majors have back-to-back runners on here with 2 gone in the inning.
Off the end of the bat there from Starling Joseph, put into the perfect spot right between the first and second baseman into right field. A great job by the Majors right fielder going with that pitch. A tough one off the outside corner. Looked like it might have been a little bit off the plate, and Joseph had to reach for it, stayed with it, took it the other way, and got himself a base hit.
So the Majors with a little bit of pressure here in the bottom half of the third after a couple of quick outs. The hit batter, Mullen at second, and Joseph just with the single. Reed looks back at him. Here's the first pitch. Going to miss low to Kraminski, 1-0.
Gibson Kraminski in his first trip to the plate. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game today. Flew out to center field. Going to look to plate the runner, Robert Mullen, from second base if possible here.
Kraminski waits. Here's the delivery. Catches the outside edge. And the count evens up at 1-1 here on Gibson Kraminski. Majors trailing by a run after the Panthers put up 2 runs in the top half of the inning. Kraminski going to look to try and find the ball into the outfield with 2 outs here and try to tie this ball game. Ready, the 1-1 delivery. Hit on the ground, first base, but foul. And it's a ball and 2 strikes here on Kraminski.
Good job by Kraminski just getting a piece of that baseball. It was a pitch that cut inside on him towards his back foot, and he was able to get enough of it to foul it off. It was going to be a tough pitch to hit no matter where it was, where it ended up, whether he got a piece of it or not, and he fouls that one off. Count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Now Reed in command of this at-bat. Let's see if he can put the Majors third baseman away.
He's up in the count at 1-2. Looking to try to get the Panthers back on the bats. Here is the delivery from Brett Reed to the plate and missing low with the breaking ball.
Good waste pitch there from the Kitchener Panthers right-hander. An off-speed that was low, and a good job by Gibson Kraminski taking it. So often guys are looking to protect the plate and will chase that off-speed. We've seen the Panthers do it a couple of times against Owen Boone in this contest. Kraminski able to lay off right there.
Reed ready again. Now the 2-2 pitch off the plate. And Kraminski has worked the count full at 3-2.
Great patience on display by Gibson Kraminski in this at-bat. Not bad put-away pitches or attempted put-away pitches from Brett Reed, but Gibson Kraminski has been able to lay off.
And the runners, Dylan, will be in motion here on 3-2. Panthers infield playing back, not holding them on. Here's the pitch to the plate. Hit on the ground. Chopper to first base and just inside the line. It'll be picked up, stepped on first by Wilson to retire the side here in the bottom of the third. The Majors get a couple of 2-out base runners, but they can't bring them around to score. The kids will come out to run the bases here in London. After 3 complete, the Panthers leading 3-2.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me.
London Majors baseball back here on Majors TV. The kids finished running the bases here, and Owen Boone back out to the mound to warm up for the London Majors as we go to the top half of inning number 4. A lot going on in downtown to London tonight. Of course, we are here at Labatt Park, Kitchener Panthers and London Majors in Intercounty Baseball League action. Across the river at Rock the Park, it is Aqua and TLC, the headlining acts of the Friday night edition of Rock the Park at Harris Park in London. Talked it over with the production crew. I could not do any of my music puns coming back from break there. I tried my best, but I wasn't allowed to. We go to the top of the 4th here as Owen Boone ready to face off against the Panthers here in the inning. 3-2 Kitchener lead. A run in the first and then 2 in the top of the 3rd. Swearing around a bunt and getting that one down, but foul. And it's just a strike to Tyler Henriquez to begin the inning. Henriquez, Gauthier, and then back up to the top of the order for Jet Jarvis here in the 4th for Kitchener. Boone sets himself from the windup. Here's the delivery. Curveball catches the zone, and it's 0-2. Fantastic 0-1 pitch there against Henriquez, who squared around a bunt the first time. Now Boone looking for a big 0-2 pitch. Curveball, getting a piece of it, Henriquez fouling it off. And the count stays where it is at 0-2.
Boone doing a good job of attacking Henriquez so far in this trip to the plate. As you mentioned, Noah squared around, fouled off a bunt attempt on the first pitch, and has come back with a good strike and then a foul off Henriquez was able to spoil the 0-2 pitch.
Boone inside. That one slipped out of his hand as he falls off the first base side of the mound.
Similar thing to what happened to Robert Mullen in the bottom of the third inning. 2-strike count, breaking ball slipped out of the hand of Brett Reed and clipped Robert Mullen's elbow. Right there, nearly got Henriquez in the elbow.
1-2 delivery, swung on and missed. Strikeout number 8 for Owen Boone here, and one gone to start the fourth inning.
We talked about it last inning. We talked about it the inning before. A lot of strikeouts to this point for Owen Boone. 8, as you mentioned, Noah, in the ball game, and taking care of business here at the bottom of the order so far. Got to deal with Robbie Gauthier next, the catcher for the Kitchener Panthers. And in Gauthier's last trip to the plate, he struck out swinging, so he'll look to avoid being a strikeout victim for a second time tonight.
On the ground, hard to first base. Perrier picks it up, bobbles it, takes it himself to first, and he's in time to get the second out of the inning.
Good job by Dan Perrier over at first base, getting in front of that baseball. Hit pretty hard off the bat of the catcher, Robbie Gauthier, but Perrier able to knock it down, keep it close, and get over to first base in time for the second out.
So 2 outs, exactly the way that Owen Boone wanted to start the top of the fourth inning, as now the lineup turns over, and we're back once again to the top of this Kitchener Panthers lineup. And Jet Jarvis.
Jarvis led off the last inning for the Kitchener Panthers when they rallied and scored 2 to regain the lead. He led off with a single and was followed by a couple of singles after that.
Swings right through that fastball, loses his bucket in the process.
You lose the helmet, but you get a chance to show off the flow, Noah, so you win some, you lose some.
Jarvis with the count even at 1-1 on him now after the swinging strike. Boone readies himself. Here's the delivery. Another swing and a miss. That time changed up the speeds on him, and it's 1-2.
A good pitch there from Owen Boone after a big swing from Jarvis on the first strike. Comes back with an off speed and gets a chase for strike 2. Has plenty of options to try and keep him guessing here on 1-2.
Fouled back. Good battle going at the plate here as Jarvis stays alive. Still a ball and 2 strikes as Boone looks to get the Majors through this inning. Pitch count up over 70 now for Owen Boone here in the fourth inning.
Yeah, that pitch count is definitely higher than where Boone and the Majors would like it to be at the moment, but he's been working pretty well.
Now hit on the ground, fouled off the foot there of Jarvis. Another 2-strike foul ball will have us going again here at 1-2. The good thing here for Owen Boone, of course, with the pitch count, is that we work our way into July now. Dylan, he's stretched out, and you could probably see Owen Boone go upwards of 120 pitches at the high end if you need him to.
Absolutely, he could get up that high. Obviously, you want to try to avoid that if you can, but if Boone feels like he's rolling, he may go out there for that many pitches.
Swing and a miss. Owen Boone is rolling here. He's through 4 innings at Labatt Park, and another big strikeout gets him out of the top of the fourth.
A really good pitch right there from Owen Boone, pulling the string, getting the off-speed, getting the chase from Jet Jarvis. He's rolling at the moment for the London Majors. So far in the ball game, Owen Boone has 9 strikeouts, Noah, just 1 walk, 2 earned runs of the 3 that have scored for the Kitchener Panthers. He's been having a great outing. The one thing that you could say, that you could point out as an issue for Boone, is that pitch count. It is elevated at the moment, and he'll be looking to control that as his outing continues, but he's pitched pretty well. He's given the Majors a chance so far through the first 4 innings of work for him.
So the Panthers lead by a score of 3-2 as we move along here in London. If you're sitting at home wondering, man, it's a nice night to be at the ballpark, you don't have to wait long as the Majors back in action tomorrow night here at Labatt Park.
Yeah, it should be a good one against the Hamilton Cardinals. Cardinals coming to town for the second time this season. Noah, they'll come back for a third time on July 29th. It'll be their last trip to Labatt Park, but tomorrow it is their second. The last time the Cardinals were here was a high-scoring affair. The Majors won on a Tuesday night here at Labatt Park. Hamilton went up early, and the Majors came back and scored something like 12 unanswered runs or something close to that.
There was a lot of offense that night.
There was
a lot of offense for a Tuesday night, I should say.
Absolutely. Tuesday night, you're kind of hoping you'll be out of there pretty quickly. Pitchers duel, maybe not the case in that contest. A lot of runs in that game.
We tend to hope that almost every single night. And And I would say more times than not we are disappointed.
The IBL this season has been a very high-scoring league, especially in games the majors have played because the offense is just so good and has been throughout the year. But you can imagine when the Well and Jackfish are in town, that's going to be a long contest, as we saw last week, because the teams are so close, the offenses are so good. A lot of teams have the bats rolling so far this season in the IBL.
Well, another thing to take into account is especially those games, you know, against the Wellens, who's in first place, the Kitchener, the Guelph, pardon me, who's right on your tail. Even here in the mid-July dates, it feels almost like it's a playoff game, right? You take those extra seconds to ready yourself on the mound or in the on-deck circle as the first pitch of the inning is going to be hit out to right center field, long run, going to get it and making the catch out in the gap for out number 1.
Nearly a collision out there in right field. I thought for the longest time that Andy Leader was going to try to make a play on that baseball, but Jet Jarvis out in right tracked it down. Two guys with very good speed. It was on display right there as Leader ranged to his left, Jarvis to his right, and he was able to come up with that baseball. Two guys that can cover a lot of ground, and even Blake Jacklin in left field has blazing speed as well. So 3 very good outfielders, and that's what allows the Kitchener Panthers to get to a lot of baseballs in the outfield.
So Keith Candell to the plate as the first pitch to him. An off-speed pitch outside for ball 1. Both teams and even 5 hits apiece so far in the contest. Kitchener leads by a score of 3-2 as the second straight pitch to Candell misses inside. And possibly a little bit of a mix-up on the mound there as Gauthier will come out and chat things over with Reed.
Yeah, it looked like a relatively easy off-speed pitch to catch there for Robbie Gauthier, but he couldn't come up with it. He might have been expecting a fastball, Noah, and Reed came with the breaking ball that Candell was able to lay off of for ball 2, and that might have been a strike as well. It was pretty close to the inside corner, but because Gauthier didn't catch it, oftentimes when you don't catch the ball, you're not going to get the call.
2-0 is there for a strike, so Reed gets his first strike of the at-bat, and it's 2-1. Has upped his pace a little bit here as we move to the bottom of the 4th. Is now the pitch by Candell. Hit off the end of the bat. Going to be a tough play. Coming over, and no one's going to have a play on it. Keith Candell will reach with 1 gone on one of the weirder base hits that you'll see.
Yeah, that was going to be a tough play right off the hop. You saw Brett Reed charging off the mound, trying to make a play on that baseball, and I thought he might have had the better shot. Liam Wilson came running in as well, trying to make that grab. He slid. Reed went over. Reed said afterwards, hey, that's my fault on that one. It was going to be a tough play for both guys, and both guys came up empty. Wilson kind of knocked it away from Reed as well as he fell over there, and that allows Candell to reach.
Throw over there. We'll have Candell back in diving. Reed now against Whalen with 1 gone. Stares in there for the sign. His first pitch, a fastball on the outside corner and called a strike. 0-1 now here on Whalen as Dylan, we get another look there at that hit from Keith Candell. Tough play for the first baseman who's playing way back on that one, and it just drops where no one had a chance to get it.
Yeah, both guys getting after that baseball, and now a pickoff throw that gets away.
Pickoff move, another one there by Reed. It got away from the first baseman in Wilson as we were checking out the replay on how Keith Candell got on base. He'll now head over to second.
Yeah, Keith Candell into scoring position for the London Majors, standing at second base, 180 feet away from scoring a run with the speed that Keith has got. He's likely going to score on any ball on the ground into the outfield, so good job by Keith picking up an extra 90 feet, getting in the head of Brett Reed, threw over and just missed the mark, so Keith is able to move up.
Reed now, he's got an 0-1 count as Candell's now stands at second. Pitch to Whalen, called a strike, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, in between all the pickoff moves, it's been 2 called strikes to Phil Whalen, so he's got to work himself out of an 0-2 hole just like he did the last time. Struck out in his previous trip to the plate.
Tried to get a bunt down twice his first time around, fouled it off both times, and then struck out on the next pitch. This time he's watched 2 go by to get himself an 0-2 hole. Reed looks back at second. Candell takes his lead. Here is the 0-2 delivery. Upstairs to Whalen, 1-2.
Came with an off speed the last time Whalen was up at the plate and got him to swing right through it. This time tries to go with the high fastball, and Whalen does not bite.
One and two. Brett Reed grabs his sign. Now comes to the plate in the dirt, blocked by Gauthier, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good job by Phil Whalen laying off that pitch in the dirt. Tried to get him to chase a pitch well low, but Whalen was able to lay off. It was outside as well, had some movement on it, and the Majors left fielder was able to stay put and not swing.
Two and two. The look to the plate, fastball upstairs, and from 0-2, Whalen has worked it back to a full count.
Yeah, great job by Phil Whalen. Right now they've tried to tempt him with 2 fastballs up, a breaking ball low and away, and he's laid off all of those pitches to put himself back into a full count right now. So a great job at the plate by Phil Whalen. We'll see what he can do with a full count.
Runner at second base, scoring position here, 1 gone in the inning. Reed will look back. An extended stare at Keith Candell. Now the leg kick, delivery, and a called strike 3 on Whalen, who's down on strikes for the second time in the ballgame, 2 gone.
Yeah, it looked like Phil Whalen knew that was a called strike 3, just could not pull the trigger on that swing. He started, then he stopped, didn't really matter because it was a called strike 3 nonetheless from Bob Blake, the home plate umpire. You know, Whalen would have liked to have that one back to go after it, try to put a ball in play, try to move Keith Candell up or even score him. And wasn't able to do that, so Austin Wilkie will step up to the plate for the Majors, back to the top of the order, still got a guy in scoring position, and they'll look to cash.
Brett Reed back to the top of the London Majors order. And once again trying to work himself out of another small jam, this time in the bottom of the 4th inning. And now a pickoff move to second base, and back in safely is Keith Candell. And the Panthers can't believe it, as it looked like he got behind the tag.
Yeah, a lot of surprise on the face of the Kitchener Panthers. You got a great look at it on your screen right there. It looked like Keith Candell got right in behind the tag. It didn't look like Stephen Whalen had the tag on Keith Candell. He came into the bag pretty early. You could see that pickoff move developing, and the dive from Candell was a good one. It looked, to me at least, on the monitor like he got around it.
The look again from Reed. Now comes to the plate. Wilkie takes that first pitch off speed. Called a strike. And it's 0-1 now here on the Majors' leadoff man.
That one just got the outside corner to Austin Wilkie for strike 1. Even at second base with 2 out, Candell still in the head of the pitcher Brett Reed.
Oh, 0-1 delivery. Wilkie takes again. This one finds the zone, and it's 0-2 for Reed.
Yeah, Brett Reed now well ahead of Austin Wilkie in this count. Has a lot of different options he can go with. We'll see if Wilkie can put together a pretty good plate appearance like Whalen did, where he fought back from being down 0-2. He'll be looking to get a ball into the outfield on the ground so he can cash Candell.
0-2 ready on the hill is Reed. Checks back, and now time called at the plate by Austin Wilkie. Didn't like how long Reed was taking to come to the plate.
Yeah, oftentimes you'll see that where a pitcher is taking his time, peeking back at the runner, and the batter is like, all right, that's enough. I'll call time here, reset things just so we can get ready in the box.
0-2 ready. Pitch in the dirt, blocked. Gauthier will pick it up. The throw down to 3. Not in time to get Candell, who's in there safely.
Keith Candell with a very good read on that pitch. Robbie Gauthier blocked it, kept it close. Candell knows his own speed and was able to move up to third base. on that play. It was a close play over at third, but Candell slid in safely, and a good job by the Majors shortstop.
So 90 feet away is Keith Candell, still 2 outs, and a 1-2 count on Austin Wilkie. You're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Reed again to the plate. This one blocked by Gauthier. He lost it in his feet for a quick second before he found it. Now 2-2.
Yeah, Keith Candell can move up to third base or second base on a ball in the feet of Robbie Gauthier. He cannot score on that pitch, so Keith holds up over at third. Wilkie doing a good job laying off some tough pitches right now, working the count back to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Pitch again. This one hit off the end of the bat out to center field. Coming on leader, calls off Jarvis, and the Panthers once again will strand a Major in scoring position, this time 90 feet away. It is a 3-2 Kitchener Panthers lead through 4 complete here at Labatt Park in London. You're watching Intercounty Baseball League action from Labatt Park on Majors TV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors. Owen Boone back out to the mound here as the London Majors get set for the top half of inning number 5. Another good crowd here at Labatt Park as a beach ball makes its way around the seats.
Whenever there's a beach ball, Noah, I feel like it always finds its way onto the field at some point.
A matter of time is, oh, that's a pretty good spike. Makes it all the way down to the concourse level. That is what we were talking about, right on cue.
Yeah, making its way down at a rapid pace. We'll see if it impacts play at all. Maybe somebody in the bullpen can get it if it rolls onto the field.
Blake Jacklin in to lead things off here for Kitchener in the top half of the 5th inning is Owen Boone back out to the mound for the Majors. Boone another clean inning in the 4th. We'll look to try and repeat that here in the 5th as the first pitch he throws is across for a strike and he gets ahead 0-1 here on Jacklin.
Good job by Owen Boone there, finding the zone and getting ahead. Another first pitch strike for Owen Boone. There was a period in this ball game where he wasn't getting those, but overall has been very good.
Pitch missing, and the count now evens up at 1-1. Here's Owen Boone's 1-1 delivery. Squaring around to bunt Jacklin. They are going to say that he held up and the pitch missed low, so it's a ball, 2-1. Panthers 3 runs on 5 hits so far in the ball game, leading 3-2. As we make our way to the top half of the 5th inning. Now on the ground, shortstop Candell, a nice dive, but it's off his glove and into center field for a base hit. And Blake Jacklin is aboard to lead off the inning for the Panthers.
That ball was rocketed off the bat of Blake Jacklin right back up the middle. Keith Candell dove, nearly came up with that baseball, but just squirted off his glove into center field. Great effort by the Majors shortstop. Just could not make the play on it. So a leadoff base runner for the Kitchener Panthers and a guy who's got lots of speed over at first base in Blake Jacklin.
We'll see if the Panthers decide to get aggressive on the base pass. Jacklin just 2 stolen bases so far this season. He stole 6 last year in the Panthers uniform, so he can run. Prefers to choose his times wisely. Getting an aggressive lead, not going on the first pitch, which is a fastball called a strike. Owen Boone gets up 0-1. Wilson digging into the right-hand batter's box, ready for Kitchener here, down 0-1 after the first pitch fastball. Another late lead by Jacklin. Comes to the plate and misses low.
Just missed with that pitch, did Owen Boone to Liam Wilson. Wilson's such a potent bat, you've got to pick your spots carefully, and just couldn't find the zone with that last one.
Another check over his shoulder for Owen Boone. Fouled straight back into the screen, and the count moves to 1-2.
Good pitch there from Owen Boone, getting a foul off from Liam Wilson. Back to the screen, and you touched on the late leads, Noah, from Blake Jacklin over at first base. He takes a small lead, and then just as Boone is about to throw the pitch, while he's set, he takes a couple more shuffles. Something you don't often see over at first base.
We have a shot at it there on our screen, and that is where he sits to start, and then Owen Boone looks over now, and then as soon as he comes set, jumps off the bag at the last moment. It's almost like starting his secondary a little bit early and going a little bit further.
Yeah, it's something that works for Blake Jacklin. Allows him to read the ball a little bit better, perhaps, and get some better jumps on the balls that are put in play. It's something you don't often see from runners over at first base. Robert Mullen was ready to pull the trigger and try to throw him out on a back pick to the bag, but could not come up with the baseball cleanly.
2-2 count for Owen Boone. Waits, holds, and now time called at the plate by Wilson.
Blake Jacklin was dancing over there at first base, trying to distract Owen Boone. He held onto that baseball for a long while, and similar to what we saw, in the last inning with Austin Wilkie at the plate, Wilson calls time with the pitcher holding on.
2-2 count to the plate, called strike 3. Owen Boone's strikeout stuff is on tonight. Wilson with a little bit of a gripe for home plate umpire Bob Blake on his way back to the Kitchener Panthers dugout. And a big first out for Owen Boone in the majors.
Good pitch there from Owen Boone to strike out Wilson, although he's unhappy with that call. Boone did a good job of finding the strike zone, putting it in a spot that's still a strike, but not in the wheelhouse of the big battle Liam Wilson, getting a big first out.
Boone ready on the mound. Dancing at first base as the pitch comes inside and drills Andy Leader to put him on here with just one gone in the inning.
Yeah, Owen Boone held onto that baseball for a while, trying to vary his timing with Jacklin over at first base, and threw a fastball that just got away from him as Leader squared around a bunt, got up and in, and hit him right up near the shoulder. Leader took it like a champ, jogged over to first base, and stands over there now with one out in the inning. Not ideal for Owen Boone.
Owen Boone might actually be happy with that, as he doesn't have to deal with Jacklin dancing over at first base anymore.
Yeah, he won't have to deal with that over at first, but we'll see what he does over at second base.
First pitch is going to miss upstairs. 1-0 here on DiClemente.
DiClemente 0 for 2 in the ballgame to this point, has struck out looking and swinging. Boone would take a strikeout here.
Checks back at 2. Now the delivery, this one hit over to third base. Picked up Kraminski to 2, back to 1, not in time to get him. So a fielder's choice, a big second out. Well, runners on the corners still with 2 outs here in the inning.
Kennedy Clemente just runs a little bit too well for the Majors to turn that double play. They get the runner over at second. A good play by Kraminski getting it over to Newton. Just couldn't quite get DiClemente on the back end there over at first base. 2 out, runners on the corners. Not a bad spot to be if you're the Majors and Owen Boone. He'll be looking to get out of it here in this at-bat.
Dylan, it almost looked like a little bit of a hesitation by Kraminski at third, who picked that up, thought he might have been able to get the tag on Jacklin, thought better about it, and that split second might have been enough for DiClemente to beat it out at first base. Is now this pitch hit out to right field. Not overly deep. Joseph over to his left. He'll make the catch. And the side is retired for the Panthers here on the top of the 5th. They'll strand a couple of runners on as we go to the bottom half.
Yeah, that hesitation may have been the difference maker on the play by Gibson. Kraminski doesn't come back to bite the Majors, though, as they get out of this inning without allowing a run, as a fly ball to right field that Starling Joseph was able to get over on and make the grab to retire the side. It was a little bit of a confusing ball off the bat of Keegan Marsden, the way he swung. I thought it was going out of the ballpark, to be completely honest with you, Noah, but wasn't hit overly hard, and Joseph just had to jog over to his left a little bit to come up with that ball and get the third out.
And that'll put the Majors back to the bats here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And a 3-2 lead for the Kitchener Panthers here as we make our way towards the halfway point of the ball game. Another good night for baseball here in London. Not the clear skies that we had last weekend, but still a comfortable night to watch a baseball game here at the world's oldest baseball grounds in London, Ontario.
Yeah, beautiful night for baseball here at Labatt Park. Temperature is exquisite here for a ball game between the Panthers and the Majors. And after a rough first inning, Brett Reed has really settled in out there on the mound for the Kitchener Panthers, has thrown 74 pitches through 4 innings of work. And he is going to look to continue to work well for Kitchener. We've got a new catcher for the Kitchener Panthers. That is Dan Mahoney for Kitchener. Mahoney takes over for Robbie Gauthier. Not too sure why Gauthier exits the ball game here. We hope it's not due to injury, but Mahoney will take over behind the dish.
Trying to get you any updates on that as we can as we go along here. Bottom half of inning number 5. And the Majors will lead things off with, once again, Jacob Newton. Jacob Newton, the leadoff man here, bottom of the 5th inning for the Majors. Brett Reed still on the mound for the Panthers, and Mahoney behind the plate, as mentioned, coming in as a defensive replacement. Some light throwing down in the Kitchener Panthers bullpen as the first pitch is lined into center field, a base hit for Jacob Newton.
Great job by Jacob Newton, jumping on that first pitch and scorching it into center field for a leadoff single. That's exactly what you want from the guys at the top of the order, setting the table for 3-4-5 as Cleveland Brownlee will saunter into the batter's box for London. Newton standing over at first base. He's got good speed, and he's done a great job of getting on base at the top of the Majors order.
So Cleveland Brownlee now comes to the plate. Been on base once tonight. Well, would love to find his way into the hit column here for the Majors in the 5th inning. Reed checks on the runner, Newton at first. Newton goes, the pitch low, throw down to 2, a strong one, but not in time to get Jacob Newton a stolen base and into scoring position here with nobody out.
Jacob Newton got a good jump on that pitch and picked a good pitch to run on as the pitch was low, and he's able to move into second base easily. Now in scoring position, tying run is in scoring position for Cleveland Brownlee.
So Reed comes set and ready for a 1-0 delivery to the Majors' designated hitter. Off the plate. Fastball misses, and it's 2-0. Brownlee getting himself set right again in the batter's box on the right side. Big 2-0 delivery coming here from Reed. Looks back. Now to the plate. Missing low. So he's fallen behind Brownlee. 3 balls and no strikes.
See the look of frustration on the face of Brett Reed on the mound. Trying to work carefully around Cleveland Brownlee, perhaps being a little bit too careful right now as he's missed the zone on the first 3 pitches to the Majors' designated hitter. Cleveland's going to have the green light. If he sees a good pitch, he'll try to turn on it.
3-0 delivery. They come right at Brownlee, who looked like he was holding, and it's 3 balls and a strike now.
Yeah, Cleveland was taken all the way on that pitch. He may have had the green light to swing at it if he wanted to, but Cleveland made the decision before that pitch was thrown that he was not going to be chasing it.
Reed is ready here on 3-1. To the plate and fouled straight back by Brownlee. That was a pitch that he wants back.
Bit of a hanger there to Cleveland Brownlee. He was right on it, but fouled it straight back to the screen. So now he'll have to readjust and get set for a full count pitch. Good job by Brett Reed out there on the mound. Fell behind 3-0 to Cleveland Brownlee pretty quickly, but has worked his way back to a full count.
And now looking to try and put away Brownlee for the second time in the ball game. Here is a 3-2. Dancing at second is Newton. Reed holds, comes to the plate, and he bounces it. It's a walk for Brownlee to put runners at first and second. Nobody out for Robert Mullen.
Cleveland not tempted on that last pitch as it misses low in the dirt, and he'll be able to reach base. Looked like they were trying to work around Cleveland, trying to be a little bit careful, but now you got to deal with Robert Mullen, who's not much of an easier bat at all for the London Majors as he steps into the batter's box for the 3rd time tonight. For London's been hit by a pitch and has popped out to the catcher in foul territory. We'll see what he can do right here. Nobody out, 2 on, tying run in scoring position. This is a good spot for Mullen.
And the Majors have been in this spot before in the ball game and were unable to bring in any runs to score. So this becomes, although only in the 5th inning, an important series of at-bats and an important inning here for the Majors.
Mullen second on the team in batting average and runners in scoring position at .485. He's been clutch for the Majors so far.
The look and delivery. Brownlee out to right field. That one's going to get down for a base hit. As Brownlee rolls into second, Mullen with the single. And the bases are loaded.
Robert Mullen once again comes up with a base hit with runners in scoring position. The only issue there for the Majors was that because it was in the air and it was going to be a catchable ball perhaps, the runners had to hold up. Jacob Newton could not get off to the races from second base right off the bat because he had to wonder whether that ball was going to be caught either by the second baseman Whalen or Jet Jarvis charging in, and it falls in, so the bases are loaded with nobody out, but no run comes across to score. Cleveland Brownlee almost got thrown out at second base because he had to hold up there for the Majors, but the throw in was a little bit late and Whalen had to come off the bag as Don Menard goes out to talk to his pitcher just to calm him down a little bit. Nobody out, bases loaded, not an ideal spot if you're out there on the mound.
There is action down in the Kitchener bullpen as a right-hander begins to throw. But as of right now, Dylan, this is Brett Reed's inning to get out of, or at least try to get some outs on the board.
Yeah, he'll be looking to do that here. Bases loaded, nobody out, hard of the order. This is a great spot for the Majors. And if you're London, you've got to capitalize on this opportunity right here because you've got your power hitters at the plate. You've got so many guys on base, and you've got to take the lead here with a tired arm out there on the mound. Reed at 82 pitches now. You got to imagine he's starting to feel that fatigue coming in, and we'll see what the Majors are able to do.
So Starling Joseph now with the bases loaded. First pitch missing, blocked by Mahoney. And the count now 1-0.
Good job by Dan Mahoney keeping that baseball in front of him. If that ball got to the backstop, Jacob Newton was going to score more than likely. So great block there by the Panthers catcher.
Ready here on a ball and no strikes is Reed. To the plate, upstairs, taken by Joseph, and it's 2-0. Down in the Kitchener bullpen, what I believe is Brady Schnarr warming up. And warming up in a hurry here as the Panthers in a big jam, bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, Kitchener may need some relief here shortly. They have the bases loaded, nobody out, 2-0 count now on Starling Joseph. I think that is Brady Schnarr. I'm in agreement with you there, Noah.
Big cut by Joseph on that 2-0 fastball, but he's right through it, 2-1.
Similar pitch to the one that Joseph just laid off for ball 2. Joseph came up empty on that swing.
Reed grabs his sign for Mahoney. The 2-1 delivery to the plate. Joseph the other way, but fouled off.
Good pitch there from Brett Reed, getting Starling Joseph to foul it off, and sounds like another great fan catch. Quite a few of those tonight. The fans have been on their game as you get a look at the fan who came up with that baseball, I believe, down in right field. Great job by that fan out there, and Starling Joseph going to look to continue to battle here in a 2-2 count. Nobody out, was ahead in the count 2-0 and is now, Reed is now, even things up at 2-2.
Ready here, the 2-2 delivery, hit on the ground, third base, they'll come home with it, spin, fire, back to 1. Not in time to get Starling Joseph. So the Majors avoid the double play, but they're unable to score, and there is one gone.
A good play there, smart play by Kenny DiClemente. If there was one out, he might have gone to second and then to first to get a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play, but because there was nobody out, they wanted to cut down the tying run from scoring and could not get the double play. They do get one out, and a great job over at first base by Liam Wilson. So often, guys are so focused on staying on the bag to make the catch and try to get the double play. Wilson knew he was going to have to come off to save that baseball from getting into right field. If that gets into right, 2 runs come in to score, and the Panthers are trailing in this ball game. So a great job by the Kitchener first baseman.
First pitch going to miss outside to Gibson Kreminski here. Comes into this at-bat 0-for-2 in the ball game.
Kreminski going to look to change his fortunes in this trip to the plate. He's got a big spot. Let's see if he can capitalize.
Brownlee at third, Mullen at second, Joseph at first. Here is the 1-0 delivery. Kreminski takes, it's a strike, called 1-1.
Kreminski in the ball game, 0-for-2 with a fly out and a ground out to this point.
And now a 1-1 count here on Kreminski. Dan Perrier is on deck. Brett Reed trying to work out of a big jam here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Inside, they check down to the umpire, Steve Cochran. He doesn't go around, 2-1.
Hey, Gibson Kreminski, a good job there checking his swing. No real shot that he went around, but not a bad idea to check it just in case Steve Cochran saw something else out there on the field. But 2-1 count now on the Majors third baseman.
Majors looking for that big hit so far. 2-1. Misses outside. 3 balls and a strike now.
Good take there by Kreminski. Wasn't really tempted with that pitch that was well up and away. Reed in danger of walking in a run here for the Panthers. We talked off the top about how that walks per 9 number is a little bit elevated. He's done a good job keeping it under control so far in this ball game. With only 2 walks to this point, but in danger of walking Kreminski with the bases juiced.
Ready here, the 3-1. Kreminski the other way. Base hit down the line. Brownlee's in to score. Robert Mullen right behind him. Joseph held at third, is into second base with a double is Gibson Kreminski.
Great job by Gibson Kreminski right there, going the other way with that pitch on the outside corner. Got it over the head of the third baseman, DiClemente, down the line. Blake Jacklin was shaded towards left center field, was not as far down the line as he usually is, and that allows 2 runs to come in to score. Starling Joseph now stands at third base. Kreminski puts himself in scoring position, and the Majors retake the lead.
So the Majors have put themselves up 4-3. The Panthers are going to the bullpen. We'll have that change for you when we come back here on Majors TV.
My name is Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
We've been checking the other side scoreboard in the Intercounty Baseball League, top of the fifth. In Brantford, the Toronto Maple Leafs lead the Brantford Red Sox by a score of 6-3.
Back here as the Kitchener Panthers have gone to the bullpen, Dylan, and the right-hander will come in to face Dan Perrier. With one gone, runners at second and third after the double by Kreminski.
Yeah, Brady Schnarr will come into the ball game for the Kitchener Panthers. Schnarr working in his 8th game of the season, has allowed 13 earned runs in 13 innings pitched to this point. He's 0-2 on the year, and he'll have to deal with a big bat of Dan Perrier.
First pitch to Perrier will miss low. Ball one to start the at-bat to the London Majors first baseman. Back and forth, the lead is gone so far tonight. The Majors have reclaimed it at 4-3 now. Fastball, outer corner, called a strike on Perrier. Count evens up at 1-1.
Perrier 1 for 2 on the night. We talked about Robert Mullen's average with runners in scoring position. The only man he trails on this Majors roster is Dan Perrier, who's batting .563 with guys in scoring position.
Taken by Perrier. Count moves to 2-1. Majors fans cheering along. Team has 2 runs across here in the inning. Looking to make that more. Here's the delivery, fouled back off the bat of Perrier. Count evens up at 2-2.
Perrier right on that pitch, lining it straight back towards the screen. We'll see if he can straighten one out and put it in play.
Schnarr ready. 2-2 delivery. Curveball hit on the ground, but softly towards third base. Perrier trying to get down the line, and he'll beat the throw to first. Here comes Kreminski, and he's in there. Oh, what a heads-up base running decision by Gibson Kreminski. And it's 6-3.
Gibson Kreminski making things happen with the bat and on the base paths. Noah, that play reminds me a lot of Eric Hosmer in the 2015 World Series against the Mets. Great heads-up play by Gibson Kreminski right there. Racing home, dashing home as the throw is a little bit up the line. He comes around to score. Just fantastic job keeping an eye on that throw, making sure that he was able to come in to score. He was a little bit hesitant to start, just wanted to ensure that Wilson wasn't going to be able to come up with that baseball cleanly because he would have been thrown out at the plate. Fantastic job by Gibson Kreminski right there.
Kreminski got a good jump at second base still, and he was running hard, rounding third base. And he knew that if that throw was going to come from DiClemente, that he was going to go. And he beat the play back to home. It is a 6-3 Majors lead now as that one's fouled back into the screen by Keith Candell, and the count moves to 0-2.
That's such a rarity, Noah. You don't see that play happen very often, maybe once a year that a player attempts that, and it just excites the crowd, excites us up here as well.
And now this one hit out to right field, right on a line, and caught by Jarvis for a big second out. So a big second out off the bat of Keith Candell. And the Majors will look to continue on here as we move along.
Keith Candell hit that baseball hard into right field. Jet Jarvis was perfectly positioned to make that play for the second out.
Here's another look at that play, Dylan, as Kraminski rounds third hard and beats the throw back to the plate. And he had no intentions of stopping if that ball was going to be thrown.
No, he was at full speed. As soon as he saw that ball leave the hand of Kenny DiClemente, he raced home. A great job because he knew he was at third base already as DiClemente was picking that baseball up. It was going to be an interesting decision to see whether DiClemente threw that or not because he didn't really have a shot at Perrier running down the line. He elected to throw it, and Kraminski made him pay.
So that ball is called a strike here as Dylan into the ball game, a pinch hitter for the Majors.
And that is Drew Lawrence coming in for Phil Whalen.
Takes that pitch, called a strike, 0-2. Whalen 0 for 2 in the ball game with 2 strikeouts, and now Drew Lawrence going to take over for him, but he's now in an 0-2 hole. And Schnarr going right after Lawrence. Delivery to the plate, bounced on the curveball. Good block behind the plate by Mahoney. A ball and 2 strikes now.
Drew Lawrence started the year very hot for the Majors, batting .309 as he kind of cooled off a little bit lately. Hasn't been seeing as much playing time for the Majors, coming in as a pinch hitter right here, looking to continue the rally.
Hit on the ground. Another chopper to third base. Picked up. Lawrence can run, but the throw is in time to beat him. And Lawrence is retired to end the inning. The Majors put up 4 runs, though, in the bottom half of the 5th, and they lead 6-3 through 5 innings here at Labatt Park on Majors TV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Get a look at the end of the Dizzy Bat race here at Labatt Park as we enter the 6th inning of action between the London Majors and the Kitchener Panthers. Welcome inside the Game Day London broadcast booth here at Labatt Park. After going down 3-2, the Majors regain the lead, and it's 6-3 London.
Dylan, it was only a matter of time before the Majors offense got back on track. They scored 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning to take a 2-1 lead. And since then, they were held kind of quiet. They were leaving runners in scoring position, leaving guys on with the final out of the inning. And it was just a matter of time before they got to the starter, Brett Reed, and got some runs across the board. And they did that there with 4 runs in the bottom half of the 5th.
Austin Wilkie and Jacob Newton went back-to-back to start things off for the Majors offense in the bottom of the first. But like you mentioned, they had their chances against Brett Reed, but he was able to hold them off the score sheet. It was a matter of time and a really exciting rally for the Majors in that last inning.
Owen Boone is back out to the mound here for London, top half of the 6th inning.
Boone up at 88 pitches through 5. The first offering is on the ground and foul by Stephen Whalen.
Boone, although his pitch count is up in the ballgame, Dylan, has done a fantastic job on the mound tonight. 3 runs across the board for Kitchener on 6 hits, but the strikeout numbers through the roof for Owen Boone.
No balls, 1 strike. Into the windup goes Boone. Here's the offering to Whalen. That one will miss high, so it's a ball and a strike from the Majors right-hander.
Whalen's 0 for 2 so far in the contest.
1-1 on its way from Boone. That's fouled off, so foul ball, a ball, and another foul for Stephen Whalen. Has him behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. You mentioned the strikeout number for Boone so far, 10 in the ball game today.
Double digits in the strikeout totals once again for Owen Boone. He has really found that strikeout stuff, and you can tell when he's on when you show up to the ballpark and within the first inning. If Owen Boone's got his strikeout stuff, you'll be able to tell.
A ball and 2 strikes. Looking for number 11, just low there. It's 2-2.
What's even more impressive than the strikeouts from Owen Boone tonight is just how good he's been attacking hitters, right? He's getting up 0-1, a lot of times 0-2. They'll battle back. They'll get the count back in their favor, but he starts them off with strikes.
Here's the offering. That's fouled off by Whalen. One of the things you notice when looking at Stephen Whalen and his approach at the plate with 2 strikes, he chokes up on that bat. No, I'm not sure if that's something he does consistently or if that's just something he does with 2 strikes to try and get a quicker bat to those balls, but not a bad approach from the Panthers' second baseman.
Certainly a good approach when you get to 2 strikes and just try to find your way on base. As he needs to, here's the leadoff man in the inning.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Time called at the plate by Whalen, who steps out, takes his helmet off. Looked like he might have had something in his eye. So everybody resets. Boone steps back on the rubber, looks in for the sign from Robert Mullen. He's got the one he wants. Into the windup. Here's the offering. Line drive by Whalen into center field. Wilkie giving chase, and he tracks that baseball down. A good play by Austin Wilkie in center field for the first out.
Gave that one a ride out to center, did Whalen, but it hangs up and in the air out to center. Wilkie ranges over to his left, makes the catch, and he's the out number 1. And Owen Boone, a good start for him in this inning as he looks to work through his 6th inning of work in the ballgame.
One away here in the top of the 6th. Tyler Henriquez will step up to the plate for Kitchener, the shortstop in the ballgame today. Boone goes into the windup. Here's the offering. On the ground, right back up the middle, gets through the legs of Boone. Newton ranging over on the run, throw to first. It's high, pulls Perrier off the bag, and Henriquez will reach.
That was going to be a tough play right away. If Owen Boone doesn't get a piece of this, or if he got a piece of it, it was going to be impossible, but it looks like it got through his legs, and then it almost next to impossible play coming across from second base there. Newton Perrier pulled off the bag, and reaching what will be an infield single is Henriquez.
So Dan Mahoney will step up to the plate for the first time today. Came on as a defensive replacement for Robbie Gauthier earlier in the ball game. He's got a runner over at first and 1 out. Boone from the stretch. The offering is in there for a called strike 1.
Gauthier was 0 for 2 in the ball game, so Mahoney now taking his first swings, as you mentioned, Dylan, after coming in as a defensive replacement.
Henriquez stands over at first. Boone comes set out there on the mound. Here's the offering. Up and in. It'll clip Mahoney, and he is aboard after the hit by pitch.
So the hit batter will put runners at first and second now for Owen Boone. And Dylan, this is the point of the game where you start looking at that pitch count for Boone, and obviously coming inside with the fastball, they're just clipping him. But Mahoney reaching, runners at first and second, 1 out. Still no movement, nothing more than a little wrestling around down in the London Majors bullpen.
No, I'm not sure, but I believe I saw some light throwing in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's since ceased down in the Majors pen. It looked like it was Braden Farrington up and throwing a little bit, but he's not throwing anymore. It's Boone's inning, at least for now. 97 pitches through 5 1/3. The first offering to Jet Jarvis. He squares around a bunt. It's inside for ball 1.
Boone, of course, your guy, and still here only in inning number 6. You got some innings to get out of the bullpen if you have to turn to them here in the inning, Dylan. But at the top of the order, the pitch count where it is, the leash kind of has to be short here on Owen Boone.
Taking a peek back at second, the 1-0. That's going to miss high. 2 balls and no strikes to Kitchener's leadoff man. Majors up 3. Boone about to throw his 100th pitch. Boone comes set out there on the mound. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Here's the offering. Inside, gets away from Mullen, trying to move up as Henricus, and Mullen won't throw. So that'll put runners at the corners now with 1 out.
And if I'm the Majors here, Dylan, this is where I start getting someone up. Boone now falls behind 3-0. Looks like he's lost it a little bit. That was pitch number 100, as you mentioned. And after you put up 4 runs in the bottom half of the 5th inning to take a 3-run lead, you don't want to let that slip away.
Don't want to lose the momentum here if you're the Majors. 3 balls, no strikes to Jet Jarvis. Here's the offering on its way in there for a called strike 1.
Tough to say. You're always still a ground ball away from getting out of it here with Mahoney at first base and 1 gone. But Jarvis can run, so it's going to have to be turned perfectly to get you out of this inning.
3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on the corners. The pitch is in there again. 2 strikes now. The count moves to full.
Great job to battle back by Owen Boone. Just dials in after falling behind 3-0 and says, all right, I got to come back with a fastball now.
Boone going to try to get strikeout number 11 here. Full count, 1 out. Here's the offering. That's going to miss up and away. It's ball 4. So the bases are loaded on a walk of Jet Jarvis. That's Boone's 2nd walk of the ball game. And with the heart of the order due up shortly, Blake Jacklin stepping up to the dish. Kitchener's got the bases juiced.
And instantly movement down in the Majors bullpen, and we'll get Brent Wales coming out to talk to Owen Boone here. With 1 gone and the bases loaded.
Action in the Majors bullpen. Braden Farrington begins to loosen up as Brent Wales walks over to the mound to talk to his pitcher. Trying to game plan for Blake Jacklin and also just trying to calm him down, Noah, right now in a tough spot.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where you're really tested here as a pitcher. You're losing a little bit of energy. You've thrown over 100 pitches in the ball game. Your team has just staked you to a 3-run lead. You certainly don't want to be the guy to give that up here, but Boone has lost the zone a little bit. Specifically with his fastball, it just seems like he hasn't been able to locate it as well this inning. The hit batter, the walks. And the Panthers now find themselves in a situation where a ball in the gap, they could be back to a tie ball game. It is Braden Farrington warming up down in the London Majors bullpen here with 1 gone.
Blake Jacklin has 2 singles, 1 on a line drive, 1 on a hard ground ball, as well as a strikeout swinging in the ball game. First pitch from Owen Boone. Jacklin fouls that one off, and the count is 0-1.
Good start for Boone in the at-bat here. He's going to have to work hard to get out of this inning.
Into the windup, the 0-1 on its way. Fouled off, 0-2.
We've gone fastball and then the curveball to start the at-bat to Jacklin. You have some pitches to work with here. This is where you do have to gun for the strikeout. This is a perfect situation to do it. You have some pitches to work with.
0-2. Here's the pitch to Jacklin. He fights it off and stays alive.
This Panthers offense throughout the course of this ball game have proved that they are going to keep on fighting at the plate, just fouling off until they get a pitch that's better suited for them. Once again, they're on 0-2. Jacklin not going to be sit down easy.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Into the windup goes Boone. Here's the offering. That's going to miss. Mullen gets up quickly. Thought about throwing down to third base. The corners are in for the Majors. They'll look to cut down the run at home. Middle infielders, Candell and Newton, are a double play depth, just trying to get 2 outs any way they can. Here's the 1-2 from Boone. Jacklin lays off. Count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Off speed again there by Boone, just missing inside. They've done a pretty good job at this at bat, but they have been flip-flopping between the curveball and the fastball.
Boone looks in, gets the sign he wants. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch to Jacklin, off the plate outside, and the count moves to full.
Big 3-2 pitch coming here for Boone, and if he's not able to retire Jacklin, it could be the end of his ball game.
Boone into the windup. Here's the full count pitch on the ground towards shortstop. That's going to get through into left field. 1 run will come in to score. Getting held up at third is Mahoney, and it's a 2-run Majors lead.
Just a base hit punched into left field by Jarvis at the plate, or pardon me, Jacklin at the plate. Everybody moves up 90 feet as Wilson comes to the plate. Boone at 110 pitches. This is where you need to make a move. The Panthers now coming through the order once again. Have seen Boone one too many times, and Boone is just losing a little bit of energy.
4th time through the lineup for Owen Boone. Liam Wilson 2 for 3 in the ball game. He's got 2 runners in scoring position. The bases are loaded. Into the windup goes Boone. Here's the pitch. That's going to miss for ball 1.
Wilson at the plate, 2 for 3 in the ball game.
Boone's allowed 4 runs, 3 of them earned to this point. Here's the pitch from Boone. In the dirt, that's going to get back to the backstop. Coming home is Mahoney. And a run will come in to score. It's a 1-run ball game.
Boone falling behind 2-0, and he is showing signs of fatigue. He showed signs of fatigue coming into this inning, and now he's lost his strike zone. Farrington is ready in the Majors bullpen as the Majors bring the infield in.
Boone's got to find it here quickly. Infield is in, as you mentioned, Noah. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Wilson at the plate. Farrington, who's been one of the more reliable relievers for the Majors this season, up and ready in the bullpen. Here's the offering. That one misses. 3-0.
Not a bad spot for Boone there on 2-0. Thought that might have caught the top of the zone, but not getting the call from home plate umpire Bob Blake. Probably in part to the fact that he has been all around the plate here in the inning.
3 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Wilson lines that one straight back to the screen.
Wilson geared up on that 3-0 pitch. He had the green light, and he knew that if he got one over the heart of the plate, he was going to take a healthy cut at it. He did, just fouled it straight back to the screen.
3 balls and 1 strike now. Tying run at third. Go ahead run at second. Here's the offering from Boone. In the dirt, ball 4. So the bases will be loaded once again for the Kitchener Panthers.
And that'll be the end of the line for Owen Boone as the Majors will go to the bullpen.
Roop Chanadat making the slow walk out to the mound. Braden Farrington wrapping up his warm-up pitches in the bullpen for the Majors, and it looks like it'll be a new right-handed arm coming in to a tough situation for London. Bases loaded, 1 out. Roop Chanadat and the Majors go to the bullpen. We'll be back after this.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
Welcome back to Labatt Park. Braden Farrington out there on the mound now for the London Majors, a right-handed reliever working in his 10th ball game of the season.
Yeah, Farrington comes into the ball game here for the Majors out of the bullpen. They needed to make a move, and they do so in the form of the right-hander who, so far this season, Dylan, has done a pretty good job out of the bullpen. 14 innings pitched, and the ERA sits at just 1.28. So the Majors are going to rely on Braden Farrington here to not only get them out of a jam with the bases loaded, but he's going to have to probably try to get them another couple innings out of the bullpen if all goes well.
That would be the ideal situation you'd have to imagine for Roop Chanadat and the Majors. 3-game weekend tomorrow at home against Hamilton, Sunday in Toronto against the Maple Leafs. So Farrington into this ball game to hopefully get out of this thing with the lead for the Majors. Although he comes into a tough spot, bases juiced, one away. Cleanup hitter Andy Leader at the plate. As Farrington digs in there on the mound, Leader ready in the batter's box. Farrington comes set. The first pitch to Leader. Breaking ball lined into center field. Wilkie charging hard, setting up to throw. He makes the catch. Tagging from third is Jarvis. It's a strong throw home, but it's too late. It's a sacrifice fly. The ball gets the backstop, and that's going to allow Blake Jacklin to move up to third.
Strong throw coming from the outfield there from Austin Wilkie, but they weren't really going to have a shot at Jarvis coming from third. I would like to see that throw cut on its way home. Because all it does is lead to a bounce at the plate. It gets past Mullen and Farrington. And the runners advance to second and third on the play. 2 gone, though, so Farrington comes into the ballgame and gets an out on the first batter he faces. But the Panthers have tied this game at 6.
6-6, 2 outs, still 2 in scoring position for Kitchener. Kenny DiClemente will step into the batter's box. He's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch from Farrington. That's fouled off by DiClemente for strike one, pardon me.
Good job by Farrington. He's being aggressive so far, just letting the Panthers hit the ball. Not a guy that throughout his career and even today is able to dodge a lot of bats, but just let you try and put it in play and get outs where you can.
0-1, here's the pitch. DiClemente rips that one. Diving grab by Perrier. A great play by Dan Perrier over at first base to save some runs for London and get out of this top of the 6th inning.
What a play by Dan Perrier, who uses all of that frame to get over to his right, make the catch, and save what would have been at least a run, if not 2, for the Panthers in the top half. But the Panthers do score 3 in the top half of the 6th inning and have tied this ball game at 6 apiece.
Cleveland Brownlee holding court right now by the Majors dugout, talking to the team. Dan Perrier adding a few words, it looks like, as they try to get fired up to score some more runs. And Noah with Austin Wilkie due up for the Majors. They've got a good spot in the order to get something going.
Yeah, good spot in the order for the Majors. Top of the order here as they'll look to try and retake the lead. They had a good inning in the bottom of the 5th, scored 4 runs, but Panthers got to Owen Boone and into the Majors bullpen in the top half of the 6th inning to tie the ball game up at 6 apiece. Still in the out-of-town scoreboard. One other game in the IBL tonight. Toronto is in Brantford, and Brantford has made this a little bit of a closer ball game. 6-5, the lead for Toronto in the top half of the 6th inning.
Last I looked, no, 6-1 Maple Leafs. So Brantford staging a bit of a comeback right now at Arnold Anderson Stadium. Brantford's been on the upswing a little bit of late. They've won 2 ball games in the past week or so.
Yeah, 2 in their last 4 the Red Sox have won, so and seeming to stick around in games a little bit longer. So if there was an upswing they have in the season that the Red Sox are having, it has been of late as they trail by just a run in the bottom half of the 6th inning in Brantford against the Maple Leafs. The Toronto Blue Jays, Dylan, big winners today, so that is good for the Blue Jays back into the win column. 8-1 over the Kansas City Royals.
2-1 in the John Schneider era, Noah. Despite the loss last night, off to a pretty good start with the new manager. And back here at Labatt Park, Noah and I are up at the Game Day London broadcast booth. Austin Wilkie digs into the batter's box to start things off in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the first pitch. Wilkie squares around a bunt and fouls it off for strike 1.
Just trying out something new, Austin Wilkie at the plate there. He is the leadoff man. I know he did go deep earlier on in the ball game, but can also run, so trying to put one down and catch the Panthers defense off guard.
Into the windup goes Schnarr. Here's the 0-1. Wilkie gets jammed on the ground to second base. Going to be a tough play. Whalen's got to hurry, and he fires a strike over to first to get Wilkie.
Wilkie hit that one, just getting it past the pitcher and Schnarr. And a nice play by Whalen to hurry up and get that throw to first. Those slow rollers to the middle infielders, they're tough. If that one goes across the diamond to Henriquez instead, then you know what? Wilkie might beat that out, but he doesn't, and there's one quick out on the board here for the Panthers.
So that'll bring up Jacob Newton now. 1 out, nobody on. Newton 2 for 3 in the ball game. Homered in his first trip. Struck out looking the next time and singled to start the 5th inning, in which the Majors had a rally. Here's the pitch. That's going to miss for ball 1.
Been putting together a pretty good day at the plate here, and this is a good time for him to try and start the rally.
That one hits the outside corner, and the count moves to a ball and a strike. Schnarr steps off the rubber, grabs some dirt, looks in. Into the windup he goes, the 1-1. Inside to Newton, 2 balls and a strike. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out. The pitch is in there for a called strike 2.
Schnarr, since coming into the ball game here for the Panthers, has been attacking the strike zone. If he's fallen behind by a pitch or 2, he usually works his way back fairly quickly.
Here's the offering. Newton in the air, slicing and dropping quickly. Jacklin coming in, and he will make the grab in shallow left field for the 2nd out.
Perfect start to the inning for Schnarr on the mound. 2 quick outs against 1 and 2 in the Majors order. And now you get to the power hitters of Brownlee and Mullen with 2 quick outs and nobody on.
An ideal start to this inning for Brady Schnarr. And that'll bring up Brownlee, who's 0 for 1, has walked twice in the ball game. Grounded out in his only official at-bat tonight. Schnarr will look to go 1, 2, 3 through this Majors top 3. Here's the pitch on the ground towards shortstop, and it bounces past Henriquez. Cleveland Brownlee hit that ball hard, and Henriquez just came up empty as he tried to make the play.
Henriquez on this play, a ball hit to shortstop that wasn't hit overly hard. He knew that Brownlee doesn't, run the best getting down the line, so he took his time, actually took that on his backhand, even though it was hit fairly straight at him. And all it took was a hop that wasn't exactly how he expected it to go off his glove and into center field.
And that'll extend the inning for Robert Mullen here. Runner standing over at first base in Cleveland Brownlee with 2 out. Looking in for the sign is Schnarr, now working out of the stretch with the runner on first. Here's the pitch. Mullen takes that one high for ball one.
The Majors here in the bottom half of inning number 6, Dylan. You get an error from the Panthers like that to extend the inning. This is where you got to make them pay.
Mullen belts that one, but it is well foul.
Curveball over the plate. Mullen giving it a good ride, but he was still well out in front of that one.
Ball and a strike to the Majors catcher. Cleveland Brownlee stands at first. Coming set, Schnarr. Here's the offering. Another curveball. That one's popped up. Mahoney going to try to find it. Coming in is DiClemente. Mahoney there, makes the catch, and the side is retired. So the Majors get a runner on the air, but Robert Mullen pops out to end the bottom of the 6th inning. We're through 6 complete here at Labatt Park, tied at 6.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
7th inning about to get underway here from Labatt Park between the Majors and the Kitchener Panthers. We're all tied up at 6. It's been an exciting ball game so far. We appreciate you joining us. For this evening's contest, Kitchener got off to an early lead on an error by Gibson Kraminski that scored one. In the top of the 1st inning, Majors went back-to-back to start the bottom of the 1st. Austin Wilkie went yard. Jacob Newton followed that up with a home run. And then the Panthers took the lead in the 3rd inning with 2 runs of their own. The Majors scored 4 in the bottom of the 5th to make it 6-3. And the Panthers tied things up with 3 runs of their own in the top of the 6th inning. Owen Boone with a pretty good outing for the Majors. Ran into a bit of trouble by the end. 5 earned runs, struck out 10. Walked 3, hit 2 batters. His biggest issue came in the top of the 6th inning when he seemed to have lost the strike zone just a little bit. Likely some fatigue factoring in for the Majors right-hander, so Braden Farrington came on to finish that inning off, and we'll look to continue here in the 7th inning. Majors are hoping for a clean 7th from Farrington. He will have to face Keegan Marsden, Stephen Whalen, and Tyler Henricus, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Kitchener Panthers. Marsden 0 for 3 in the contest for Kitchener. Struck out swinging twice, then flew out to Starling Joseph in his last trip to the plate. Farrington looks in, will come set out there on the mound, working from the stretch even with nobody on base. Here's the first offering to Marsden, just off the outside corner for ball 1. Farrington looks in, comes set. 1 ball, no strike offering on its way. In the air, on the infield. Candell to his left, now to his right. Sees it, makes the catch, and that'll be the first out of the top of the 7th inning. You may be able to hear it on the broadcast. We can certainly hear it up here in the Game Day London broadcast booth. This weekend it is Rock the Park in London, Ontario, and you can hear the acts being played out past left field in Harris Park there. Always a great time. A lot of Londoners, I'm sure, hitting up Rock the Park. And if you're at Labatt Park, you get a little bit of a seat to listen to some concerts as well as Braden Farrington works to Stephen Whalen. Here's the pitch. That's going to be in there for a called strike one. Surprising Whalen a little bit. He's behind in the count 0-1. Farrington ready to go, right back in on the mound, looking in for the sign. Whalen digging into the batter's box. Here's the 0-1 on its way. In the air, another chance for Candell, ranging into left field, leaving it now for Drew Lawrence, who comes in and makes the grab. 2 shallow fly balls to get things going in the 7th inning, and we've got 2 outs here quickly for the Majors. Henriquez 1 for 2 in the ball game, stepping up to the plate. Shortstop for Kitchener, walked in his first trip, struck out swinging, and then singled on a ground ball to Jacob Newton in his last chance. Farrington will set out there on the mound. Here's the first pitch to Henriquez. Drops in there with a breaking ball. Strike one. Farrington looks in for the sign from Robert Mullen, looking to make quick work of the Panthers here in this inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Great off-speed pitch there from Braden Farrington, and now he's well ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Crowd getting into it, looking to support Farrington here as he tries to get through Tyler Henriquez and go 1-2-3 in the top of the 7th inning. He's ready out there on the mound. The 0-2 on its way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Mullen applies the tag, and that'll do it for the top of the 7th inning. Braden Farrington does a fantastic job in the top of the frame, ending with a strikeout.
Fantastic work by Braden Farrington there to get through the Majors, get the Majors through the top half of the 7th inning, and you couldn't really ask for more from the Majors bullpen arm here on the top of the 7th.
Great job by Farrington, and we'll take this opportunity to remind you to follow the Majors on all social media. We're on TikTok, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, Facebook, and of course YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, we think you should.
I suppose we're also on email. If you feel so obliged to send us an email, we will respond.
We will.
It's a form of social media, I guess.
Is it?
I don't know.
We're not on MySpace.
No.
Is MySpace still a thing?
I don't think so. I'm surprised you actually know what MySpace is.
I've never in my lifetime known MySpace to be in existence, but I've heard of it. I've seen it in movies.
Stretch time here at the ballpark as you get a look at some of the fans dancing around here in the middle of the 7th inning. Dylan, I heard you talking about Rock the Park going on across the river. TLC on stage right now here.
Noah, I'm ashamed to admit I don't know who TLC is.
Once again, I'm not surprised by that. A little bit out of your era, out of my era as well, but I do have older siblings, so I think that kind of helps. And I also studied a lot of music classes in college. It's one of the things they made us take. Music history was one of them.
Interesting. Now,
does
how
it sound
far
boring
back
to you?
Yes, it
Because
does.
it was extremely. Not because the music that we listened to wasn't interesting, but just the way that it was presented.
So how far back does that music history class go? Does it go all the way back to like the Beethoven days, or are we just talking 20th century?
I was in radio, right? So it was basically just like the history of music during radio.
Okay.
What was played on the radio. So back to the early 1900s, if anything.
All right. Well, that's not too bad.
It was an interesting class. Like I said, I think we could have maybe listened to more of the music and not just learned about where it came from. You know, I'm a visual, or in this case, a hearing learner. Right?
Yeah.
I need to be able to see things, hear things, touch things.
You have fun trying to touch music, Noah.
Music touches you. if it's the right music, Dylan. That's all I'm saying.
It's true. Starling Joseph will lead things off at the bottom of the 7th inning for the Majors. The big right fielder for London is 1 for 3 today.
This ball game back to a tie game. Now it's 6-6. part of the order here for the Majors where they can try to get some damage done.
That one hits the outside corner. It's strike one. Joseph ready in the batter's box. Here's the pitch. That's going to miss low. A ball and a strike now. Brady Schnarr still out there. Pitched an inning in 2/3, plus this batter. 25 pitches to this point. He's been efficient. He's been effective. And here's the 1-1. That'll miss in the dirt. 2-1.
Yeah, he's done a good job so far out of the bullpen for Kitchener. Exactly what they needed. Starter Brett Reed, I think, actually gave them a pretty good start considering the stats coming into the game. The inflated ERA, the walks per 9 inflated. He did actually a pretty good job. It was a good start for him. Just ran into some trouble with the Majors in the bottom half of the fifth. Had to go to the bullpen. And now Schnarr looking to try and set down the Majors.
Starling Joseph lines that one to right field. It gets over the head of Jet Jarvis, the right fielder. It's going to go to the wall. Joseph around first. He'll dig for second base, and he is in there. It's a leadoff double for Starling Joseph, and the Majors are in business in the 7th.
It's like a movie on repeat every time he comes to the plate, Dylan. How many times this year have we seen Starling Joseph lace a ball the opposite way? He's got so much opposite field pop. That one didn't leave the yard, but it was on a line and got over the right fielder Jarvis's head, bouncing up against the sign in right center field. Like, he can just absolutely drive the ball the other way, and that's a huge leadoff double for the Majors.
Puts a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Starling Joseph, great power to all fields, but especially to the opposite field, as you just mentioned there, Noah. Gibson Kraminski will step up to the plate. He had the big blow for the Majors in his last trip. He doubled to score 2 runs for London, and then came around to score on a ball on the infield. So he had an eventful last trip to the plate. Here's the pitch to Kraminski. It is in there for a called strike one.
Kraminski 1 for 3 as well. One of the bigger hits in the Majors' day so far off his bat.
Kraminski ready in the box. Schnarr comes set out there on the mound. Here's the pitch. That will miss. A ball and a strike.
Count moves to 1-1 here on Kraminski. His last time around, doubled. Just laced the ball down the left field line.
1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runner at second. Starling Joseph has pretty good speed out there. Schnarr takes a couple of peeks back. Here's the offering. That one misses to Kraminski. It's 2 balls and a strike. Kraminski peeks down to third base. See what Casey David Pullum puts on. No signs given to the Majors' third baseman as he readies for the 2-1 offering from Schnarr. Joseph dances at second. Here's the pitch. Kraminski lines that one right back up the middle. It'll drop in. Leader going to come up throwing. Joseph getting the wave. Here's the throw to the plate. It's not in time. An RBI single for Gibson Kraminski. And the Majors retake the lead at 7-6.
Starling Joseph heads back to the bench after scoring the go-ahead run, but man, did he get a good jump on that base hit up the middle, and he was going all the way. Throw ended up being, Dylan, I'll admit, a lot closer than I thought it was going to be as a strong throw came in from center field, but it just wasn't enough to get the speedy Starling Joseph barreling towards home plate, and the Majors now have retaken the lead at 7-6.
Skipped off the mound and almost gave it a little boost, Noah, on its way home as Dan Perrier will step into the batter's box. He's 2 for 3 today, has Kraminski over at first. The pitch from Schnarr on the ground, back up the middle. Going to be a tough turn over at second base. A nice play, but no shot at Perrier. Henriquez gets the 1 out on the fielder's choice.
Tough play going back up the middle. The only choice they had was to just wait there. Henriquez coming in at center field. Dylan, here's another look at the play at the plate. The tag just a little bit late from Mahoney on the slide from Starling Joseph coming into home plate for that go-ahead run. Good shot there on that camera, that play at the plate.
So that'll bring up Keith Cantel. Has Perrier at first with 1 out. Schnarr set out there on the mound. Here's the first pitch to Candell in there for a called strike one. Looks like some action in the Kitchener Panthers bullpen.
Another righty getting loose, trying to see who that is down there, warming up.
Here's the pitch, breaking ball, goes up and in on Candell. And the count is a ball and a strike. Schnarr took a step off the rubber. Takes a breath, now looks in for the sign from Mahoney. Perrier stands at first. Here's the pitch. Perrier on the move. It's a hit and run. Second time the Majors have tried that with this combination. And it's a ball and two strikes as it's fouled off.
Yeah, they tried that earlier on in the ball game. Same thing. Perrier was at first and he took off. And Candell, they're just trying to take advantage of the infield being pulled over. Candell is an awesome opposite field hitter, and with the first baseman holding on Perrier, second baseman moving over to cover with Candell, it opens up so much of the right side if you can put one that way.
Panthers thinking possibly another hit and run could be on as a throw over, and Perrier's back with a dive at first base. Candell readies in the box. Schnarr comes set out there on the mound. Here's the pitch. Went around on the offering in the dirt, and that'll be strike three to Keith Candell for the second out.
Big second out on the mound for Brady Schnarr as he gets Keith Candell on the strikeout for out number 2. And now Drew Lawrence, who came into the ball game as a pinch hitter, will take his second at bat.
Drew Lawrence grounded out to third base at his first trip to the plate. Nearly beat it out, but could not get there in time. As he digs into the batter's box here. Here's the pitch. It's a strike, and Drew Lawrence, frustrated, didn't swing at that pitch.
Sometimes he gets in his head there that you don't want to swing at the first pitch, you want to see one, but then just your luck. When you wait to see one, it's probably going to be one of the best pitches you see all at bat.
0-1, here's the offering. Lawrence on the ground towards first. Wilson takes a step back, will take his time, touch the bag, and that will do it for the bottom of the 7th inning. We're through 7 complete here at Labatt Park. The Majors have retaken the lead at 7-6. Noah Smith back on the call when we come back on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me.
We are back here as we work our way to the top half of inning number 8. Braden Farrington still in the ball game, done a fantastic job out of the bullpen for London so far, and will look to continue and carry them here through the 8th inning. He had a very clean top half of the 7th, and now the Majors, in return for that gift, have given him a run in the bottom half of the inning to retake the lead at 7-6 as they continue rocking out across the river at Harris Park. Doing our best to rock out here at Labatt Park as the Majors lead 7-6, 12 hits for London, 8 for the Kitchener Panthers. And now for Kitchener, it starts to become go time here. You're just down a run, so having to put something together here is a little bit easier than trailing by multiple, but with every out that goes by this late in the ball game, it starts to get closer here. So we'll start things in the inning as the Panthers trail by a run. Farrington ready as he grabs his sign from Robert Mullen. Here is the delivery, hit on the ground softly. Shortstop Candell, and it took a funny hop on him at the last moment, and he couldn't come up with it. An error charged on Keith Candell, and the leadoff man is on to begin the 8th inning. Tough start to the inning for Braden Farrington, and now it turns over to the top of the order. For Jet Jarvis. Mahoney aboard to lead things off. Now this one laced into right field for a base hit. Couple of pitches, and the Panthers have 2 men aboard here to start the 8th inning. That one just lined into right field off the bat of Jarvis. And Mahoney and Jarvis have reached here for Blake Jacklin, who's had a fantastic day at the plate so far for the Panthers. 3 for 4 in this contest. Robert Mullen going to chat things over with the Majors defense here in the 8th inning on where they'll go. Perrier, Kreminski both playing in at the corners with Jacklin at the plate. He does square around, goes at it. Mullen down to 2, and they got him! What a heads-up play by Robert Mullen. And there's one gone.
Great play right there by Robert Mullen. Oftentimes on the bunt, you'll see the runners try to take big secondaries to maybe, just maybe, get an extra base on the bunt. And Jacklin didn't get it down, but the secondary over at second base was huge. A great throw by Robert Mullen and a big first out.
Going around on the bunt as well, so strike one. As that one misses upstairs, the count goes to a ball and a strike now. One and one, taking his lead over at first base is Jarvis. Farrington's going to throw over to get Jarvis. Jarvis diving back into first.
Jarvis with good speed, not a bad idea to check on him over at first base. Might not be a bad spot to hit and run with the success that Jacklin has had at the plate. 1 out, 1-1 count. Feels like the perfect spot to do it.
We're not going. Pitch to the plate, just missing to Jacklin. Count goes to 2-1 here for Braden Farrington on the mound.
Jacklin batting .351 on the year coming into this ball game. 3 for 4 tonight. He's improving that average. Just a tremendous hitter.
Farrington looks, deals to the plate. This one hit off the end of the bat out to left field. Underneath it, Drew Lawrence. He'll make the catch. Retreating back to first is Jet Jarvis, and there are 2 gone.
Boy, oh boy, no, that play by Robert Mullen just feels even bigger now. By every pitch, it feels bigger than what it was. Pickoff over at second base. Keith Candell was right there because he was headed towards second on the bunt attempt, and Mullen just fired a strike to second, got Mahoney, who was way too far off the bag, and now there are 2 out instead of just 1. There's nobody in scoring position, just a much better spot to pitch to Liam Wilson from, if you're Braden Farrington.
A little bit more comfortable with just that runner at first. Curveball starts the at-bat to Wilson with a strike as Farrington moves ahead 0-1.
Good pitch there by Braden Farrington. Wilson obviously not sitting curve on the first offering. Gets it across right there on the inside corner.
Farrington off the plate. Another breaking ball, it looked like, just missing.
Yeah, that one moved a little bit too much away from Liam Wilson, so he was able to take that one, lay off for ball one.
Lead taken by Jarvis at first. Farrington comes upstairs, ducking out of the way is Wilson. Count that moves to 2-1. Dylan, we mentioned that play by Mullen for the first out of the inning. It takes the pressure off Farrington a little bit. You can now calm down. First and second, nobody out, and just first with one gone. It's such a different situation. Polar opposites, it seems, in the grand scheme of things, as that one misses outside from Farrington. The count moves to 3-1.
Absolutely no. I mean, with two guys on, first and second, nobody out. A ground ball doesn't get you out of the inning unless you somehow manage to turn a triple play. You've got a runner in scoring position, but because Mullen's able to execute that back pick so well, and full credit to Keith Candell for being there. A runner at first, one out, ground ball gets you out of it, and he was able to get a fly out.
Throw down to 2. And another out of Robert Mullen. A catcher taking over the game defensively as Robert Mullen gets the Majors out of the top of the 8th inning.
Boy, oh boy. Robert Mullen's so clutch defensively, and he's so aware out there. He knows exactly what's going on in every situation. Saw that Jet Jarvis was on the move on that pitch, executed a perfect throw to Jacob Newton. Jarvis was out by a country mile over at second base. Tried a little maneuver to see if he could get around the tag of second baseman Jacob Newton to no avail. And
do you know where your food comes from?
Mullen, Mullen also with a good throw. You see the replay right there. Newton applies the tag as Jarvis tries to get around it. And of course, the first out executed by Robert Mullen on the pickoff to second base.
Big out there, Dylan. We have talked about throughout the course of this season, of course, getting to watch Robert Mullen's bat, but his defense. It is the difference between that next level of catcher, right? You can have a guy that calls a good game, is good defensively, blocks all the balls in the dirt, but there is that next level in terms of competitiveness for catchers, and that is where Robert Mullen is because he is so aware of everything going on. Not everyone is going to be ready to throw down to 2, even if they're taught that, even if they've practiced that. Not every catcher is going to be ready to throw down to 2 on a missed bunt.
He sees everything. It's almost like he's got a bird's eye view of it all, and the game is slowed down for him. He's not rushing anything. He sees, okay, Mahoney's going to take that secondary. I'm going to fire down to second base right now. A lot of catchers will hesitate because that's not a play they're used to executing. But because Mullen is so aware, because he saw that happen, he executed a strong throw to second base. And then Jet Jarvis on the move. Mullen set himself up perfectly to throw and fired a strike to second base.
Austin Wilkie will lead things off here for London. Bottom half of the 8th inning, London up by a score of 7-6. Just a 1-run lead as they look to try and add on some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
You trust Braden Farrington with the 1-run lead that he's pitched with now for an inning, but you'd like to add on some more insurance if possible.
First pitch to Wilkie, taken. It's a fastball called a strike. Count moving to 0-1 here on the Majors center fielder. Here's the windup and delivery. Curveball just dropped in inside edge. Ball 1, count 1-1.
Now just missed the inside on that pitch to Austin Wilkie right there. New arm out there on the mound for the Kitchener Panthers. That is Teddy Brimblecombe.
Saw him the last time the Panthers were in town as this one's chopped to third base. Wilkie can run, but a strong throw by DiClemente coming across the diamond for the first out of the inning.
Really good play over there by Kenny DiClemente, the third baseman for the Kitchener Panthers. Not the first time we've seen him make a play like that tonight. He's been on top of his game, getting that slow ground ball, firing a throw on the run to get Austin Wilkie, who's got plenty of speed, running down the first baseline. A very good play defensively there by the Kitchener Panthers third baseman.
So now Jacob Newton will dig in. One gone in the inning. First pitch, fastball missing low in the zone to Newton. And it's 1-0. Newton 2 for 4 in the ball game tonight. He's had a good day at the plate.
Yeah, Newton's been on top of things. He's got a hard single and a home run so far in this contest for the Majors.
Fastball misses up in the zone, 2-0 here. Brimblecombe has pitched in 3 games so far this season for Kitchener. 5 innings pitched in those 3 games. Has a win to his record as well. Popped up. Sky high, shallow center field, converging. Calling this one off is the shortstop Henriquez, and he makes the catch for the out.
Looked like center fielder Andy Leader was right there as well for that fly ball, and oftentimes the center fielder will call off the shortstop because he's got priority, but right there Leader left it for Henriquez, who is stationed right under it. Made the grab, and 2 quick outs for Brimblecombe in this bottom of the 8th inning. Now he's got to deal with the heart of the Majors order.
Those 2 quick outs help. But now we'll have to deal with Cleveland Brownlee with 2 gone in the inning. Brimblecombe grabs his sign, and here is the delivery. Brownlee takes the fastball off the plate, 1-0.
Good eye by Cleveland Brownlee. Already drawn 2 walks in the ball game, has Cleveland. He's been very patient. He's made sure to see his pitch and drive it so far tonight.
Swings at an off-speed pitch outside. And the count moves to 1-1 here on the Majors' designated hitter.
Just as I talk about Cleveland's patience, he chases an off-speed pitch outside of the strike zone. It had good deception, good movement on it from Brimblecombe.
1-1. Brownlee chases one upstairs. And the count moves to 1-2.
Fastball up and in. Brownlee comes up empty on the swing right there. Good cut from the Majors' designated hitter, but no success.
So a 1-2 count here on Brownlee. To the plate, called strike 3. Outside edge, Brownlee doesn't agree with a call from home plate umpire Bob Blake. A quick conversation that doesn't last long. Brownlee's back to the dugout with nothing to show for that at-bat. And Teddy Brimblecombe has himself a quick bottom of the 8th inning. The Majors lead 7-6. We are going to the 9th here in London. You're watching Majors TV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors. We are back inside the beautiful confines of Labatt Memorial Park, and we go to the top of the 9th inning. Noah Smith, Dylan Baker bringing you the action here from the Game Day London broadcast booth. As it is a 7-6 London Majors lead. Braden Farrington still in the ball game, looking to close it out.
Yeah, Braden Farrington's been fantastic through 2 2/3 innings. You see Starling Joseph bouncing around to the sweet tune of Country Roads here at Labatt Park as Farrington came in relief of Owen Boone. 2 2/3 innings, as mentioned, thrown 21 pitches, has allowed 1 hit, struck out a batter, and got lots of help from Robert Mullen behind the plate in the last inning. Mullen with a beautiful back pick to second base to get Dan Mahoney, and then threw Jet Jarvis out trying to steal second base with Liam Wilson at the plate. And Farrington will have a tough task at hand here in the top of the ninth. He's got to deal with the heart of the Kitchener Panthers order.
Farrington grabs his sign from Mullen here, ready to go to start the ninth inning. Curveball to start things is hit hard, but well fouled down towards the Majors bullpen. It's 0-1. This is Braden Farrington's game to finish, Dylan.
Absolutely it is. I mean, he's earned this. He's been so effective this season for the Majors, and he'll look to continue that effectiveness and try to close this one out for London.
0-1 delivery. Farrington readies a fastball to the plate, and it's called a strike. 0-2. Wilson, once again, he has had issues with the strike zone tonight, Dylan. He didn't like that one as Bob Blake tells him to get back in the box for the 0-2 pitch.
Looked like it was a pretty good pitch there from Braden Farrington, maybe just off the outside, and a good frame by Robert Mullen to get the second strike.
0-2 on the ground. Farrington lets it go. Second baseman Newton throw almost takes Perrier off the bag, but he's got a long reach, and he makes the catch for out number one.
Good play by Dan Perrier over at first base, staying on that bag for the Majors. Jacob Newton executing a strong throw over to first base to get the first out at the top of the ninth. Weak contact induced by Braden Farrington. When he's on, that's what he'll get. He won't get a ton of strikeouts, but he'll get a lot of balls that are weakly hit. Another example of it right there. Smart play by Farrington laying off that ball as well. If he deflected that, that becomes infinitely harder for Newton.
And Farrington, one of the first guys that'll admit that is one of the biggest changes he has made, right? He just has to go out there and pitch to the style of game that fits him best, as that one starts the at-bat with a strike to Andy Leader, 0-1.
Well, if you look at Braden Farrington's numbers beginning last season, I mean, he was so effective for the Majors last year, has been effective once again this season. In years prior, not as much. He struggled a little bit more. He seems to have really found his groove over the past couple of years for the Majors.
We hear that term that baseball is a game of inches. It's also a game of milliseconds, right? And if you're a guy like Braden Farrington coming out of the bullpen after an Owen Boone, Jose Arias, guys that can really throw the fastball hard, that split-second difference is enough to catch guys off balance, get their timing off just a slight amount for the inning, 2 innings, sometimes 3 innings that you'll work.
Absolutely. Guys are all geared up for an Owen Boone fastball, a Jose Arias fastball, and then all of a sudden Braden Farrington comes in. Farrington, by all means, has a good fastball. It's got good movement to it, but it is not as hard as Boone or Arias.
2-1 pitch, swung on and missed, and right there a good look at Andy Leader well out in front of a Braden Farrington curveball. It's 2-2.
Such a good curveball there from Braden Farrington. Just drops off the face of the earth with that pitch and gets a big swing, and Leader comes up empty.
2-2 for Farrington against Leader. Here's the pitch. Curveball hit on the ground. Foul towards the Majors bullpen.
Leader hit that one pretty hard, but he was well in front of that curveball. Another good one from Braden Farrington. Still in command of this count with 2 strikes.
DiClemente on deck for the Panthers. Here is the 2-2. Popped up on the infield. Newton now coming in, and he makes the catch. 2 gone.
Good job by Jacob Newton over there at second base. Originally broke back on that pop fly, readjusted himself, moved in, and made the grab for the second out of the top of the ninth inning. Good job by the Majors second baseman, as Braden Farrington is an out away from finishing this one off.
So 2 gone here to start the ninth as Farrington looks to close this one out. DiClemente is the batter. The first pitch to him is a strike by Farrington. It's 0-1.
Yeah, it looked like Farrington started him off with an off-speed there. DiClemente wasn't quite ready for it and gets a called strike 1. DiClemente 0 for 4 in the ball game.
Mullen sets up off the plate. The pitch from Farrington finds that spot, but they don't get the call from the umpire, Bob Blake. And it's 1-1.
The crowd letting Bob Blake hear it a little bit after that last one. Looked like it caught the corner, but just off, according to the home plate umpire.
Always looks good when the catcher catches it right where he wanted to, but Mullen was set up a little bit off the plate. Here's the 1-1. You're going to say that he went around on the swing. DiClemente couldn't hold on that pitch inside, and it's now 1-2.
And DiClemente not happy with that call from third base umpire Steve Cochran, but a very good pitch from Braden Farrington. Dove towards the back foot of DiClemente, and he goes around.
Majors fans on their feet here. It's a 1-2 count for Farrington on DiClemente. Pitch to the plate, low in the dirt, blocked by Mullen. No offer from DiClemente. 2-2.
Good take there by Kenny DiClemente, able to lay off that pitch there on the 1-2. Farrington, a good offering there, looking for the strikeout. Good put away pitch, but no chase.
Ready again is the Majors reliever Farrington. 2-2, just off the plate again.
That outside corner when Mullen sets up out there has not been getting the call, at least to this point. That's 2 in this at-bat. Fastball that just did miss, according to home plate umpire Bob Blake.
So the count now moves to full here on DiClemente. Farrington to the plate. This one out to left field. Lawrence coming on, makes the catch. And the ball game is over. The Majors hold on for a 7-6 win to start the weekend.
Great performance by the London Majors, falling behind early on in this one, but then coming back, taking the lead in the bottom of the first. Falling behind again in the third, taking the lead once again. And then the Kitchener Panthers tied things up. The Majors scored one. Gibson Kreminski, quite a few clutch hits for the Majors in this contest. A great job all around. Braden Farrington out of the bullpen had great success for London, and a big reason that they were able to snap the losing streak.
So the losing streak ends at 3 for the Majors. They get good pitching performances from Owen Boone and Braden Farrington to win this ball game 7-6. We welcome you back up here to the Game Day London broadcast booth. Post-game coverage here of a big 7-6 win, Dylan, for the London Majors.
Yeah, this is a huge win. No, I mentioned how it snapped their losing streak. They had lost 3 in a row. They got swept last weekend, lost to Toronto, lost to Guelph, lost to Welland, and then they were looking for a big win here tonight. And at times it looked like it wasn't going to come because the Kitchener Panthers put up a great fight in this ball game. They came very close, but in the end, the clutch hits from Gibson Kreminski proved to be the difference makers.
Yeah, the Kitchener Panthers got off on the right foot with a 1-0 lead after the top half of the first inning, but the Majors battled back, and then they did so again. But they took the lead. Panthers battled back to tie it at 6, and then the lone run coming in the bottom of the seventh inning for the Majors to give them that 7-6 lead. They hold on for the big win here tonight. That does it for our coverage here from Labatt Memorial Park. We are back on the air tomorrow night, so not too long of a wait before you have to see us again, as the London Majors will host the Hamilton Cardinals. 7:35, the scheduled first pitch, on the air shortly before for our Majors TV coverage of that game. Thank you for joining us wherever you've been watching from tonight. It has been a pleasure calling the action for you from our entire broadcast team here in London. We will see you tomorrow night from Labatt Park.